Assalamualaikum, selamat sejahtera, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening. Welcome back to the Toyota Gazoo Racing Malaysia eRacing Esports GT Championship 2025. My name is Faisal, and we are back here today at stream number 2 as we finally find out who our top 10 is. But before that, Group A and Group B has to go through race number 3. And before all that, I just want to say, I want to give a big shout out to Toyota once again. I want to show them how appreciative I am to see how the gaming scene and not just the eSIM racing, how Toyota has built all of them up from grassroots, not just to the experienced drivers. And also, we want to say thank you to all our partners and our sponsors, for without them, none of this would be possible. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our sponsors: Toyo Tires, Modelista, Denso, Pentas Flora, Tech Lab, Motis, NK, Kinto, TCAP, and Sunway University. Yes! Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, we have gone through today, earlier in the morning, our first stream. We've seen our 20 finalists. In fact, we have the leader for Group A, Mr. Of course, Taj Aiman. That's right, he's leading Group A. And leading for Group B, the pack, Nakib Azlan. That's right, Nakib is a newcomer, very young, very passionate. That's what we want to see. So all of them have one more race to go, so don't go anywhere. Keep watching our stream. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to find out who our top 10 drivers are. And they will compete tomorrow in our grand finals. And all of them will be competing for a prize pool of 123,000 ringgit. That's insane. Come on, man. And not only that, they will be qualifying for TGR Asia Esports GT Championship 2025 in Bangkok, Thailand in November. Okay, so before we pass it to the casters, I actually have a personal note that I want to say. I actually would like to apologize to one of the drivers in Group B, Mio Hafiz. He's in the crowd right now. Dia cakap, aku botak, and lampu pantul kat kepala aku, sakit mata dia. Jadi minta maaf ya Abang Mio, I'm so sorry, my head like this. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we're going to pass it over to our casters as race 3 is about to start. Give it up for Victor and Matthew.
All right, thank you very much, Faisal. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Toyota Gazoo Racing Malaysia eRacing Esports GT Championship 2025. This is the total prize pool. RM 123,000 is up for the grabs for the Pro Championship, Esports GT Championship, and also for the Campus Tour race. Man, I'll be fighting for this any time of the day.
Any time of the day, indeed. A lot of money is at stake here. No less, of course, the Esports GT round that we're having here this weekend, and also the Pro Championship that will be wrapped up for 2025 on this weekend as well. Here's the prize that's been split out. This is specifically for this round alone. So based on their performances here, the winner of this GT round may walk away with 1,500 ringgit. And the top 3 of this Esports GT round will stand a chance to represent Malaysia in the TGR Asia Esports GT Championship, the regional for 2025.
Yes, absolutely. So we're going to be having a look on the prize pool for the Campus Tour. Well, the winner will be bringing home RM 1,005. First runner will be bringing home 1,002, and second runner-up will be bringing only 1,000 ringgit. And we also have other prizes until the 10th place there, Victor. So everyone from the 10th all the way till the 1st are going back with something.
Yeah, so we found all these drivers from doing the campus tour stops in 8 places all over the country, and we found the fastest drivers from each of those individual locations, and then we're going to be bringing them all together here to race for the first time for your entertainment. And speaking of entertainment, we're going to be entertained indeed with Group A and Group B going to be wrapping up their rounds here. They're going to be finding out by the end of the day who will be the top 10 finalists, but they still have one more race to go here, man.
Oh, one more race to decide it all there, Victor. You know, the grand finals has always been a prestige moment for this entire competition throughout the years, and right now they are just moments away. We are just one more race away to find out, you know, who will be qualifying into the grand finals. But till then, we just had to, keep on hoping and praying and see who goes into the grand final. May your favorite driver qualifies to the finals.
Indeed, so there's plenty much at stake here. I mean, we only got 20 drivers, but only 10 slots for tomorrow's grand finals. So unfortunately, for the remaining 10 of them, they're going to be packing up their bags here for this moment. But let's go ahead and give a little bit of a recap on our finalists here. This is specifically for Group A, and the Group B as well. So we're having a look at both of the lists here. So lots of stand-up performers here. I mean, it's been great to see that our returning champion, Taj Aiman, continues to lead inside of his group, but also his nearest rival, Nakib Ahsan, is leading inside of Group B as well. So, wow, it's going to be a clash of the titans, isn't it, by the time we get to the grand finals?
Absolutely, man. I mean, looking at this group, you have lots of talents here, especially Group A over here, man. We got the 4 times champion in this group. We also have the contender who's fighting for this championship for many, many years. We also have the brothers of destruction, especially Nabil Aslan, also Nakib on the other group, where he's on Group B. So both Aslan brothers are over here trying to dominate things. So it's really high competition level in these groups, Victor. It's not easy, you're just going to go through the finals just like that. No, you just have really top drivers, and all of these drivers can definitely be very, very promising at the very final race.
Yeah, some of these guys have competed even back all the way in 2020. Some even went to the grand finals in that very season alone. Now let's have a look at the full results here coming out after race 1 as well as race 2. As we have a look at that right now. So as I said, Taj Aiman is the leader of the group by 45 points. He's taken the win as well as the fastest lap, pole position for the first round, and then in the second race he managed to get up in the top 3. That's enough to keep him up in the top there. Danish Bigaswaran not too far behind, although he did incur a penalty in race number 2, which dropped him down a position on that race. But nevertheless, in terms of points, he still is up inside the top 3. Chandramauli Adnan, so happy to see him being able to take the win out of race number 2 to be inside the top 3. So if things go well, he is definitely going to be guaranteed a seat here in the top 10.
Yeah, so on the other side, we see Wayne Go, Rio, Nabil Aslan, Luoy Kit, Akil Safi, Kamal Ali, and also Jeremy Yao. Well, for some of them, it is still open there, Victor, because we got 5 drivers will be going through the grand finals. So these are your leaders so far in the semi-finals Group A. So may the best driver qualifies into the grand final. We got one more race to decide that. But till then, we still have to keep on waiting to see what's the final result.
Yeah, and with the the remaining 3 slots still tied up here. I mean, we saw Wayne Go, Rio Pantukusuma, as well as Nabil Ahsan, all 19 points. Yeah. So this final race here is going to be super important to determine who will be able to get into that top 10. But as it stands right now, all 3 of them still have a good shot of being inside there. So, and also, don't forget, Lau Wei Kit also having 18 points to his name means he's only 1 point behind those guys, but also means that he's within a shot of getting into that grand final.
Absolutely. So for the race format of race 3, the final race in the semi-final, well, it's going to be a 25-minute race. It's going to be grid of round standings, and there you go. It's going to be 25 points for the first position, and on the 10th, you're just only bringing 1 point. But remember, we also have fastest lap points as well there, Victor. 1 point for that, pole position for 1 point, and of course, the ballot and everything is still on. Well, Victor, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar to kind of format we saw for race number 2. The only distinction is that the way that we're going to determine the grid for this is based on the round standings after race 1 and race 2. So based on the amount of points that these drivers accumulated, that's going to determine their grid position here. So there's still that minimum 1 pit stop, which we saw still plays a big factor, especially in race 2. It's also going to be same here for race 3, which is going to be on the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps.
Welcome back.
Yeah, the legendary F1 track is going to be playing host for round 3 of this semifinals here. 7 kilometers long, 21 turns, very, very long straight in the Camel that comes right after Eau Rouge and Radion. It's going to be an insane place for them to fight it out here, especially considering the cars that we're going to be using for this final race for the semi-finalists. This is going to be the Super Formula SF23, the 2023 version of Japan's Super Formula car. This is their premier, the top-tier single-seater series inside Japan, and this is also a series that Gazoo Racing, Toyota Gazoo Racing, also competes in. So it's going to be a perfect way for them to, a perfect machine for them to use, especially on a racetrack like Spa.
Yeah, so we have already seen the Temple of Speed, the track, and also the race machine of the day, the Super Formula SF23. Man, I gotta ask you one question. you are clocking up 625 horsepower in a 2.0 liter. Whoa,
That's crazy.
that's crazy, isn't it? In an inline four.
In an
Believe
inline
it.
four,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a standard like road car engine for sure, but
No.
the fact you're able to squeeze out so much power is insane. And this is, mind you, not a hybrid engine car. This is a pure ICE engine car, and a 600 brake horsepower with only a weight of what, 670 kilograms. It's incredibly light. It's almost 1-to-1 in terms of power to weight ratio. So this is about as close as you can get to an F1 car inside of Gran Turismo itself. So for all intents and purposes, this is exactly like an F1 race here for our
It's like,
semi-finalists.
it's like a pre-F1 race for me, you know, without the DRS. You know, there's no DRS, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's no DRS for it. But I think we still have a really deadly machine on the track today for these races, especially race 3. So may the best driver perform really well and win the race. Yeah.
I mean, in that regard, I mean, of course, we talked about how Taj Isrin Ayman has already wrapped up, rather is leading the group right now. So I think by rights, should already be pretty much going into the top 10. But now it's going to be determining who else is going to be joining him in that list. Now we also got Danish Warren, as well as Chandra Mauli Adnan, also inside that top 3 here. But then from 4th place until 6th place, those guys are all tied up. So this race number 3 here is going to determine between those 3 guys, and perhaps even 4 guys actually. Lao Kid in 7th place. They are all in the running right now, and they are vying for that final slot and final seat into the race. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The race has started now for race number 3 at Spa-Francorchamps. Taj Ayman taking the inside, while Danish Warren going around the outside. Watch out for Chandra Mauli though. He's taking a very wide line. Has to get all the way up onto the curbs there in order to try to stay on track, but still has to tuck in behind Danish. Now downhill they go into Eau Rouge, and soon they're going to be going up to Radion. Is Danish Warren going to do something onto Taj Ayman? He's getting very close and nipping his heels here, getting up into the Camel Straight. Now he's going to be trying to get alongside here, but he's going to be not getting any toe out of that. He quickly tucks in behind Taj Ayman's car in order to get that slipstream. He needs it in order to get into Lecombs, and let's see what under the braking there. No, Chandra Mauli slips in ahead of Danish Warren. Look at how quickly they have to react in order to be able to make that move, but Danish Warren still comes out on top, coming out of Lecombe.
What an intense start at the Temple of Speed, my man. I mean, looking at this race, the intense speed that we're seeing right now is absolutely a joy to watch. And Taj Isrin Ayman right now leading this race in P1. And looking at Danish Warren chasing him right at the back, bringing me a lot of memories from the past. And right now we're still seeing, Chandra Mauli right now in P3 there, Victor. You know, that is something even much more to talk about, especially him being in the standings in the 3rd position right now. So things are very much open for P4 and P5, but let's see who's going to be qualifying right now as we're on board with Danish Warren. Well, he has been a really top contender throughout the past right now. Will he able to actually show himself who he is in this race, in this season, or it's going to be the man right now in the front, Taj Isrin Ayman, who's dominating this race from the start till the end.
Yeah, you gotta imagine, jumping from the GR86s and into the SF23s. These cars are so much faster. You have to react so much quicker to every single turn. You have to be a lot more precise in your steering and your throttle inputs as well, compared to the touring cars that they've driven just moments ago this morning. So it's going to be a huge jump in terms of that performance. But who else is going to be jumping up the list here? Then someone in the back there, I think that's Akil Salfi, getting a bit of a tangle right now with the 9th place man. As in the meantime, the top 7 still make it through, still in the positions that they started off with.
Yeah, this is one of the most technical areas of this track. And let's see how this is going to be turning out, especially when you're going towards the uphill right now there, Victor. You know, lots of incidents happened there before until cars were flying. Well, with this insane speed, I'm not sure they're going to be flying, but one thing for sure is they are flying in terms of performance. Well, still Nabil Azlan right now still chasing the man in front, and it seems like Sony Kazu is right now locked into Nabil Azlan right now. And let's see if he's able to come up with something in this next turn where this could be an opportunity from the outside. And off he goes into P6, just like a piece of cake there, man. Wow, well done, Sony Kazu.
Beautiful move there by Lao Kid, making his way through into P6. So he's already moved out of place. It's going to help him a lot here in his quest to get into the top 10. But it still remains to be seen. We still have a lot of running time left here and still have that pit stop to worry about. Now, you did mention earlier these cars don't have DRS, but I tell you what they do have is an overtake button, which allows them to spend a little bit more fuel to get a little bit of a boost, and that's going to be especially helpful when they come around fast places like the Camel Straight or maybe even Puhan, which is going to be coming up soon.
Yeah, well, that is something to look forward to now. Here comes Wayne Goh, who's right now in the 4th position, and let's see if he's able to close the gap between the front And so far, he's on full concentration. Even the previous race, maybe one of the round did not go really well in his favor, but right now things are lining up really well for him. It is all about keeping himself consistent and also, you know, finishing a really clean race.
Yeah, Chandra Mauli unfortunately has picked up a half-second penalty that's going to hurt him a little bit, although he's still 1.5 seconds ahead of Wayne Goh. So in the grand scheme of things, perhaps not an unrecoverable position, but that certainly opens up an opportunity here for Wayne Goh to make up a place here, and that could also prove crucial here for his battle in order to get into the top 10. He's done so well now to make it up into the top 4 in terms of championship points here for Group A. It's certainly a shame he's not going to be able to make it into the top 10 given the number of years he's been competing here in TGR, and of course how close he's getting right now to get into the grand finals.
Absolutely, we're approaching into the eRacing and also Redillion. I mean, the holy grail, I would say, man. You know, the Fallout bravery, treading the car uphill with G-forces, spinning drivers into the seats, and these are the kinds of things that we have heard and seen before in the Formula Ones. But right now, with these cars, these guys are going absolutely mad. And Lau Kit again, finding some space and leaving Rio Pantakasuma right behind him.
Wow.
Well, look at this battle there, Victor. And easily again, he done it again and again. But Rio is fighting back, but Rio could not find a gap over there. Sony Kazu is really driving like absolute Sonic man right now, man.
Yeah, he knows that the guys in front of him are all tied, you know, all for points right now. He's the only one who's 1 point behind. But with this kind of performance, I wouldn't be surprised if Lau Kit is going to be the one to beat them to the punch, getting into the final 5 slots here for the top 10. Now, Rio Pantakasuma is no slouch either in that department. Let's see if he's going to be able to regain some of that time here against Lau Kit now that they've already cleared that tangle. But wow, it's incredible. We're only about 5 minutes into this and already so much has happened here.
I mean, I love a high-speed race, isn't it? I mean, who doesn't actually? But there you go. It is Rio Pantakasuma. We are on board right now. Right behind there is being chased by Nabil Aslan. But the fastest man on the track so far, it is still Taj Isrenaima. No one is yet to actually come close to his time. But then, looking at this race, it seems like some of them really need to close the gap.
Crashed.
Somebody crashed?
Yeah, I think Chandra Mauli has
Oh, really?
crashed.
Yeah,
he's dropped all the way down the list here. Yeah, indeed, he's only
missing.
just recovered. I saw on the mini-map, he actually stalled somewhere just off of Blanchimont. So, yeah.
So if that's the case, then Wayne Goh takes his place now, right now, Victor. He's in P3.
He does indeed. So, wow, this could be dangerous moment here for Chandra Mauli. He needs to be able to recover back, hopefully in the next round. Wayne Goh almost loses control coming out of the hairpin. That is crazy there, but still managed to keep it together. But definitely we have lost out a bit of momentum because that's a very important place at La Source. You know, coming down into Radion, you want to be able to get a good exit out of that so you can maximize your speed on the Camel Straight. And Wayne Goh might be a little bit compromised here, which actually will be a good news for Lau Kit if he wants to try to chase Wayne Goh for that podium position.
Oh, this is going to be a battle, man. He's chasing Batman right now, up in front right now. And on a day, I would say it is Wayne Goh. At night, it is, you know, Bruce Wayne. Well, he has always been the Batman of this entire series. And right now, he's proving himself to be in the podium position. But will he able to handle the pressure that is coming right behind him shortly there? It is going to be Sony Kazu. He's on an absolute form today there, Victor. He's climbing one by one. And right now, he's very one step away from actually getting into the podium position. But that is down to Wayne Goh right now.
It's down to him right now. And I mean, given the amount of experience that Wayne Goh has had, I mean, he competed, he has been a semi-finalist even since 2020 here for Toyota Gazoo Racing and still continues to be a grand finalist all the way up to 2024. He has got loads of experience, you know, being at this stage of the competition here. So I think I'm not going to be too worried about him in terms of being able to handle pressure. He's been in this place before, you know.
Yes, absolutely. He does have this experience in these bags. It is all about him, you know, just use that and keep the momentum going in this race, because you never know, sometimes the luck might be on your favor, because certainly for some races the luck were not in their favor on this entire race so far there, Victor.
Yeah, as they stream now towards the chicane, looks like Lau Kit slowly but surely inching closer and closer to Wayne Goh. We might be seeing a battle in a few moments. No drivers have so far been required to go into the pit stop quite yet. We're not even at the halfway point here, only 8 minutes into the running on this 25-minute long race. True La Source, they come through. Lau Kit just behind Wayne Goh, not going to be close enough to get the toe off of him. But let's see as they come down to Radion. Imagine this is all going downhill. Then once you hit Eau Rouge, then it's up through ratty on. This is very tricky here. It's almost like threading a needle at nearly 200 over 200 miles per hour. It's crazy, like the amount of precision you need and the bravery you will need in order to be able to make it through. But Lawikit's got a lot of draft coming out of Wingo. He's going to try to cut him this time around the inside instead of the outside that he normally does. But a beautiful move here from Lawikit.
Oh man, Lawikit, or better known as Sonikazu, is really showing how it's done so far, man. He's in the P3 so far, but really able to keep that going because Wayne go on the other side trying to redeem back his position. But looking at how the speed that, Lawikit is carrying right now is absolutely insane. And I think the experience is speaking for itself right now,
It has.
Yeah.
I mean, Lawikit as well, he's been into the grand finals before and, had not even had the best of luck in those instances here, but he's continued to try again and again, and in spite of everything, continues to be a strong competitor here in TGR. So we welcome him into the fold should he be able to keep this track position and be successful in making it into the top 10 finalists.
Yep, so he's still rolling hard up in the front right now, keeping himself in the podium position. P3 for Lawikit at this moment, and it seems like Wingo could not find a way to actually catch him. But talking about catching up over here, there you go, Victor. It is the P1, the main man that is leading this race. Taj Isrin Aiman, the 4-time champion of this tournament, right now rolling very happily up in the front, but now he knows that someone is coming really fast at the back. It is going to be Danesh Vigneshwaran, and we have seen this rivalry going on for many, many years, and many, many challenges these two has gone through. But Taj has always came up in front. But could this be the moment for Danesh Vigneshwaran to at least, find a way through this man?
Yeah, the defending Malaysian and, mind you, regional Asian champion here is in the lead, but he's actually getting caught up a bit here from Danesh, which is surprising to see. But then again, Taj Aiman is certainly biding his time here. His soft tires already quickly wearing out, so he may have to pit sooner rather than later. Does have quite a bit of fuel coming into this one. I think the fuel and tire battles are not as severe as compared to race 1 and 2 for Group A, so they will be able to conserve a little bit more compared to what they had to do when they were driving the GR86s. But Taj Aiman is only just barely over a second ahead of Danesh Vigneshwaran, kind of like how it was with race 1 itself. So we'll see how the pit strategy is going to play out for both of these drivers. Danesh, in the meantime, also on the same tire strategy as Taj Aiman, so likely will have to pit around the same time, although his tires is noticeably worn out a lot more compared to Taj Aiman at this stage.
Yeah, I mean, Taj Isrin Aiman, his time management has been really incredible, not only for today. I mean, for many, many tournaments, we have always noticed his time management looking at a very good level. And right now, it seems like Danesh Vigneshwaran is hopefully a little bit pushing his car to chase this man down. And still, I would say, he's really trying his very best at this moment there, Victor. But these two has been rolling on for many years, so I'm not surprised with anything that's happening right now.
Yeah, I think the only surprise would be if one of these two drivers don't actually make it into the grand finals here. But they certainly demonstrated why they are some of the best drivers in Gran Turismo inside of Malaysia as of this moment. As we continue on now, we're already 11 minutes into the running. Looks first two drivers will be going to the pits. Lawikit stays out. He's going to be inheriting the lead from here. I think Wayne, as well as Rio Pandakusuma, also dived into the pits at the same time. They were also on the soft tires, which are likely completely worn, whereas Lawikit is running on a medium, so he is running a longer stint from the start here.
Yeah, he definitely has much more capabilities right now, and he's still got plenty of left on his tires. So Lawikit right now, better known as Sonikazu. I mean, that name has been a legendary name. I mean, people actually remembers him as Lawikit on his actual name there, Victor. But for the racing fans in Malaysia, it is always known as Sonikazu. Well, let's see how long he can stay out.
Yeah,
he won.
He's been quite a fixture in the sim racing community. I remember even in the early days, he's always coming to events like this, and always a presence. He literally drives all the way down from Penang just to be at these events. So you just got to hand it to him in terms of that dedication. So now that he is in the lead of this race, he's only leading by only 5 seconds. So he still will have to take one pit stop here, likely to change off into the softer tire to finish off the race with. And given, again, the tire ballot for this race in particular is 8 times the simulation simulation rate for tires, 4 times the simulation rate for fuel, so a lot less severe compared to race 1, thus allowing these drivers to push that a little bit harder on their tires and also maybe even push the boundaries a little bit like what Lawikit did with a lot of the drivers in the midfield early on.
Oh, you know what, there, Victor? A lot of things have happened in this track so far, right? And it's only been 13 minutes right now. Yeah, that shows, you know, how fast the car is, you know, coming through this entire 7 kilometers. Huge track, I would say. And it's a really wonderful weather so far in Belgium. No signs of rain, I would say. Like how we used to think back. I mean, me and you has been commentating in Sepang as well. So over there, nothing is promised, you know. Over here, it looks like really sunny. On the other side, it could be raining. But not in Belgium, I believe.
Yeah, not in Belgium, not in this race in particular. It's going to be clear weather, clear sky, and clear tracks here for Lawikit. The nearest rival to him is only right 4.5 seconds behind him. That's going to be Nabil Aslan, who was also elected to stay out. I think also on the same kind of tire strategy as Lawikit himself. Akil Salfi currently in that P3, while Kamal Ali makes it up into P4. Taj Ayman comes out in the pits in P5, still ahead of Danish and still ahead of Wayne Cole. So at least in terms of that track position, they're still very much secure in that regard. Now the only question is, will Lawikit be able to maximize his incoming stint here, because his tires going to be way worse off compared to Taj Ayman's very fresh medium tires that he will be finishing this race on. So literally, this is after the races here. It's going to be a matter of like getting the fastest times possible, keeping it as consistent as possible, and hopefully Lawikit, after he comes out of his pits, going to be still ahead of Wayne Go, or maybe even continue to fight with Danish. Who knows?
Yeah, you know, it's very much open. And for those who are watching online, welcome to Toyota Gazoo Racing Malaysia eRacing Esports GT Championship 2025. We are underway for the semi-finals, race 3. This is the final race for Group A, and over here we will decide who are going to be the 5 racers that will be going into the grand finale. And so far it is looking really good for this man, the 4-time champion, which is known as Taj Izrin Ayman, right now leading this race in style, keeping himself in P5, but then looking at how I would say that, Victor, you know, he can still climb up once the rest goes into the pits.
Yeah, so as for Taj Ayman, like he has very clear track in front of him, 8 seconds to Kamal Ali, so he certainly will not be blocked by traffic pretty much in his attempt to stay ahead of Danish Biggest Warren. That gap is still maintained consistently at that 1.5 so far, so that's looking very good right now for him. And I'm also seeing from the YouTube chat a lot of cheers here for Salfi. Akil Salfi was currently running in P3 just behind Nabil Aslan, so let's hope that he's going to be able to come home with a very, very good result here. In any case, as of right now, we're watching this race here between Taj Ayman and Lawikit. Taj Ayman has already gone to the pits, has fresher tires. Lawikit chooses to stay out. He's going to be using up his medium tires and will be coming into pits for soft tires likely. And we'll see whether or not he'll be able to maximize this. So far, he's kept the gap really good. He's kept the consistency very, very close, like 155 overall here, and still has plenty of health in his tires as well.
That's the thing, and that's what I'm really surprised at, you know. The tires have not worn out that much actually, and he's still keeping a really decent pace so far in this race. And right now still, like what you said, he's inheriting the first position, and he's doing it really well there, Victor. I wonder what's his strategy like.
His strategy is just drive fast and be fast. I think pretty much that's all there is to it here for Lawikit. All smiles for him as he knows that he's in a good position right now to try to fight for a possible top 3. I'm not too sure whether he'll be able to win the race outright here. He's still got Taj Ayman and Danish Biggest Warren to worry about. But if he does make it onto the podium by the end of this, that all but confirms his place here inside the top 10 for tomorrow's grand finals.
Absolutely. So I'm seeing lots of fans for Akil Salfi there, Victor.
Yeah.
Especially on the online chat. He's right now in P3, so let's see where he ends. And till then, keep the support coming on the social medias right now, as we are still underway for our race. We still have more than 15 to 20 minutes right now in this race, because it's a 25-minute race, and right now we still see Akil Salfi right now in P3, ladies and gentlemen. And let's see where he ends over here. Well, Victor, I mean, his time management is still pretty decent so far, you know. He's not over-pushing his car.
Yeah, and bear in mind, the traction control is turned off for these cars. They only have ABS enabled here, so that means that coming out of corners, especially on the slower parts of these tracks, like La Source or Bruxelles, it can be very easy to end up spinning your tires and wasting some of that tire life. But so far, these guys have done very well to keep these cars under control. I mean, again, these are Formula cars, so they have so much more grip compared to the GR86s they drove earlier in the morning. Now, into the pits come Lawikit, Akil Salfi, as well as Kamal Ali. Let's see where they're going to be turning out here. Nabil Aslan still stays out. He still is deciding to continue running on here. Maybe only go to the pits in the last possible moment of this race. Taj Ayman is coming through. La Source right now should be able to retake a track position here. Still ahead of Danish, but Wayne Go is also coming through here, I believe, and he should be ahead of these guys who are just coming out of the pits here. Lao Wicked comes out just barely, just barely in front of Wayne Go. So this is now game on now between Lao Wicked and Wayne Go.
Oh man, we have seen this rivalry again and again, and it is another round of showdown for these two as they're coming towards the Arouge and also Redillion. And let's see where these two lands over here. Wayne Go still chasing the man right up in the front, and Sonikazu just defending his position, closing every gap he can. But then it is fully lock and loaded right now. Wayne Go might be going for a move right now, and it seems like he could not find a way through there, Victor. Yeah.
Wayne needs to be able to fight him here, because especially at this point, Lao Wicked's tires are still cold given that he's come out of the pit, so he's at a slight grip disadvantage. But the longer that Wayne is not able to get past, the worse off it's going to be, because Lao Wicked will be able to get his tires back into the optimal temperature, and then he'll be able to continue his quest here. But it looks like Lao Wicked has it in the bag though, being able to not only hold off Wayne Go throughout the Camel Straight, but now by the time they got to Puan, he's actually extending the gap now to over 1 second. So incredible work here for Lao Wicked. He's definitely done a supreme job now of being able to stay up, possibly in the top 3. We still have yet to see how Nabil Aslan pulls off his stint here. He does have a significant gap ahead of Taj Ayman, but I don't think it may be enough for him to stay ahead once he comes into the pits and out of it.
Yeah, looking at his tires, he needs to go to the pits very soon. But then,
there he goes.
Yeah, there he goes. I mean, incredible pace there by Lowe Kid so far there, Victor. You know, I've never seen him race like this for a long, long time. And maybe, you know, a Spa actually brought him all these actual powers right now, and he's rolling through. And there you go, Taj Izrunaiman right now, gaining back where he left right now. I mean, taking back where he left. It is going to be P1 for the main man right now. Danish Vigneshwaran, could he chase it up with just 1.2 seconds right behind him? And Wayne Go, where is he there, Victor? He's in P4 right now.
He's been P4. I think Rio Pandakusuma, well, we'll see. Once he gets past La Source and out of the exit there, we'll know for sure. Nabil Aslan takes a very quick splash though, only 39% left of fuel, but that should be enough to get him in the end of the next 5 minutes. He comes out just ahead of Rio Pandakusuma, so he's in that P5. It's very marginal right now for Nabil, but then Rio Kusuma has his tires completely warmed up. He's going to try to fight him coming out to Radion, couldn't quite find a way past, but into the Camel. Now Nabil's going to be caught out like a lame duck here. Boost is being enabled here by Rio Pandakusuma. He tries to get up alongside. It's going to be taking a long way around here, but if he can hang on just nicely, he will be able to come out ahead of Nabil Aslan here, or will he? Still trying to close the door out of the coops. Rio Pandakusuma still moves up to P5.
Well done to Rio Pandakusuma. I mean, what a performance so far by him, and he found a way through Nabil Aslan. Well, it is going to be a long way for these two there, despite we only have about 4 minutes left in this race. The tires are still cold for these two, but let's see where this ends in the final lap right now. Nabil Aslan got a man to chase up front who just lost his position, and right now he's trying to get it back, and let's see where that is going to put him in the final few more laps to go. But one thing for sure there, Victor, you know, Lowe Kid right now is still climbing really well. He's in P3. Let's see if he's able to find a way to actually see Danish in the back or not.
So while Rio has so far won the battle, the war is not over, because again, Nabil Aslan has come out of the pits with way fresher tires compared to Rio Pandakusuma, who pitted several laps earlier. So Nabil should be able to bide his time here, but he still needs to be able to find a way past the veteran, the multi-year finalist here. Wow, taking a dip around the inside there. Blanchimon, Nabil Aslan is going to try to beat him to the chicane here, but Rio Pandakusuma still has the inside line. Nabil's going to try to beat him to the next apex. Can he close the door to Rio Pandakusuma? Yes, he does. Nabil moves up to P5.
You cannot give gaps like that there, Victor, especially for Nabil Aslan. We have seen it time and time again. When you give even a small gap there, you will definitely find a way to go through. And that is some incredible driving by the Aslan brother right now. And they are just rolling it hard. It's just one more brother to see what he's going to do in Group B later on. But Group A looking so far so good for Nabil Aslan. And here comes another battle. Rio right now chasing the man up in front is going to be Akil Saufi, where he needs to find a way through. Akil Saufi is under pressure right now, so going towards the downhill, and Rio trying to dive left and right to find a way through, and maybe he found it there, Victor, and maybe through this round from the outside he might have a chance to close the gap. And and he could not, the Victor. He could not.
Just barely, but then again, both of them had their overtakes button on and seem to be almost running to the very end of it now.
Exactly.
So there are only a few more minutes to go between the two of them. And now Rio Kusuma lost out on that battle there with Akil Salvi. Has now got Kamal Ali now nipping to him. A true no-name corner. Akil Salvi is now pulling way ahead here, so he's very much going to be secure in that P6. Rio Kusuma is looking to try to keep himself ahead of Kamal Ali at least and hopefully be able to catch up here to Akil Salvi, but it seems like it's all slipping away now as the timer continues to tick down. 2 more minutes of running to go. The front runner, Taj Ayman, is coming through Blanchimont right now. I think the timers will still allow us to have 1 more lap of racing, so it's still another reprieve here for Rio, but unfortunately he's already lost the position here to Kamal Ali.
Kamal Ali put incredible pressure on Rio, and Rio left all the way at the back right now. Right now he's dropped into P8 there, Victor, and things did not go well for him today.
Yeah, so as it stands right now, Danish Kuswaran P2, Taj Ayman P1. These two are very secure in their slot going to the finals. And the question is who the other 3 who will be going through together with him. Lao Wei Kit has moved up to P3. He's looking very much in the running right now to get into the top 10. So is Wayne Go, and Nabil Aslan, after an amazing fight coming out of the pit stop, has managed to eke into P5 here, and that might just be enough to get him to the finals, but we still have a little bit more running to go. We still have 1 more minute of race time here. This is already the final lap, ladies and gentlemen, for Taj Ayman and Danish Vigneswaran.
Yeah, Taj Ayman right now leading this race, keeping himself in P1. Danish Vigneswaran, I mean, incredible performance by him there, Victor. I mean, throughout this entire race, he has been showing on a really good performance from the start, and I would not even put down Wayne Go as well. He started really well in this race, but then when he saw Sonny Kazu coming through there, Victor, with some insane speed, that is where things actually changed. But remember, 5 drivers will be going into the grand finals. You know, it's not only 3 drivers, so the other 2 is still very much open as we're going towards the downhill. And right now, we are rolling through Danish Vigneswaran, who's right now in P2.
Yeah, we'll have to see once we get the official results. But as it stands right now, Taj Ayman, you know, I was looking at that gap between him and Danish. It seemed to have collapsed a little bit, but now it's extended as we come through into the fastest section, the faster section, I should say, of Spa-Francorchamps, coming out through Stabilo and now into Blanchimont. This is going to be a hair raiser of a corner if you were to take it in the Formula car in real life, but for these drivers, they're cool as cucumbers right now as they're cruising their way to end this lap. 25 minutes is already up right now. Danish Vigneswaran still trying to chase up the Taj Ayman, trying to gain, but just a little bit here. True to chicane goes. Taj Ayman is using up all of his overtake that he really didn't have to use much at all, but he will be coming across the line now to take that checkered flag, and we'll be able to take the win. Oh, will he continue 1 more lap here?
1 more lap there,
One more lap.
1 more lap to go, and Danish Vigneswaran might have a chance if something slips up his way. But so far so good there, Victor. This too has been an incredible performance from the start. I mean, looking at how Danish Vigneswaran has been keeping up with Taj Ayman, even in race 2 and race 1, that shows, you know, the level that he has already grown so far throughout this championship. But the only thing is that he has never won it before, you know, despite trying many times. But let's see, maybe things could be in his favor this time.
As they pull into 285 kilometers per hour, limited by that rev limiter, so they can't exactly hit the 300 kilometers per hour, the magic number as it were for Formula 1, but it's still very fast, almost F2 levels of performance, but a very much a lighter car, very much more agile, very sharp on the turning as well. Danish Vigneswaran is seeking to try to close that gap or maybe even bring a final lap battle between the 2 of them, but I really want to see how the other drivers are doing at the moment here. At least on the mini-map, it seems that the gaps are still relatively wide between them. Of course, there's a huge gap going all the way up to Danish at the moment. Nabil Aslan is closing on the Wayne Go. Is he going to be attempting to make a move up into P4 here? Well, we'll have to see. He does not have a lot of fuel left. Still is running on the soft tires, which are still younger compared to Wayne Go's own tires. He's already using up as much of the overtake boost that he can right now in order to try to make up. Again, you don't want to be finishing the race here still having a lot of fuel left in your overtake, so we'll see whether or not Nabil will be able to continue to collapse these times. But true into Blanchimont goes Taj Ayman. Nabil has already just come out of Stavolo here. It's continuing to give chase here to Wayne Go, making it down to half of a second here. Taj Ayman goes through chicane, should this time be able to see that checkered flag here. So Taj Ayman will take the win here in race number 3 for Group A. Danish finishes 2nd place behind him, but give it up for the man of the race here, Lao Wicked,
Wow.
P3, starting from all the way in P7. Wayne Go and Nabil Aslan makes it a drag race, but Wayne still finishes ahead of him to take P4, and Nabil takes P5.
What a race there, Victor. I mean, high intensity speed. And I would really tell you, today I enjoyed this race more than race 1 and race 2 because we got a couple of things to actually talk about in this race. And, every corner in this track is a gamble, and Spa has always been my favorite track. And, it's always a pleasure to see racing over here, man. But despite that, we have seen an amazing performance, especially in Group A. And this is the end of race 3. And I can tell you what there, Victor, what a race it was.
Yeah, I mean, especially fun, seeing the Formula cars.
There's
so
no
much
penalties.
sharper.
There's no penalties if you realize,
Well, yeah, actually, no time penalties.
Yeah,
so,
no time penalties.
They stayed pretty
For
well
a,
behaved,
for a
especially-
high-speed car, yeah?
Especially going up through at Eau Rouge and Radillon.
Radillon,
like,
yeah.
It's not the easiest thing, to be able to stay within track limits, especially if you just chucking your car through those two corners. But yeah, so far they didn't get those track limit penalties. Still yet to see whether it's incident penalties. That's going to still be tabulated by our race stewards behind the scenes here. But yeah, that's Group A already done and dusted right now for all 3 of their races. So it is in the lap of the gods pretty much here to determine who's going to be able to make it into that top 10. So that's going to be 5 slots into that as we have a look now and the provisional results. Taj Ayman, of course, takes victory here in race number 3. An absolute victory here, I should say, for Taj Ayman overall inside of Group A. So he maintains that lead here. Danish Biggest Roman always very close, but still has to settle for a P2. Still will be able to see him in the grand finals, that's for sure. And I'm really looking forward to seeing him battle it out with the likes of Taj Ayman and Nakib Aslan. With Lao Wicked, wow, what
a performance. What a performance, man. I mean, Victor, I think he was the driver of the day for me. Easy as you go.
Just for being able to do all of that. And he was 1 point behind the 3 drivers who were tied up, which was Wayne Go, Nabil Aslan, as well as Chandra Mauli Adnan. Chandra, that's another sad case there, unfortunately, because in spite of the fact that he managed to take the win in race 2 to keep his hopes alive here, this 10th place finish that's only being able to accrue here after a crash in the middle of the race, certainly not going to be helping him too much, unfortunately. But we'll pray and see whether or not he has done enough overall here. But it is, as I said, still going to be up to the racing gods right now to determine whether or not we'll be seeing him tomorrow in the grand final event.
Yes, we absolutely wish all the best to our drivers in Group A. May the best driver qualify, because just now what we saw is a provisional result, but it is all down to the race stewards and also the others to actually come up with the result and, finally making it to the grand final as well. I think we're going to be having a little bit of insights from the racers from the Group A just now. So for that, we're going to be with Mr. Faisal on the stage. So my man, take it away.
Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Victor. I'm very excited. It was an amazing race 3. And you know what? I get to talk to one of the most experienced drivers here. We kid. All right, so I want to ask you something. Usually when we talk about sports, when we talk about competing, right? We talk about talent, we talk about experience, and then we talk about what you've gone through, hard work and everything. Do you think each of these, which is the most important to you?
Yeah, to me, important thing is more practice.
Hard work is more important. Hard work beats talent, it beats experience. As long as you keep hard work, keep your work, it's okay. Fantastic, fantastic. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, from the one of the most experienced drivers here. Okay, we also want to ask, right? Since race 3 is a bit special, you're using a very special car. It's called Super Formula. It's way faster than the normal car. Now, does it play a big role in how you approach the race itself compared to using other type of cars?
Yes, this car requires precision driving and fast reflexes. Yeah, so meaning I need to be consistently good at what I do every single lap. Yeah.
So you're saying that driving the Super Formula experience, I think, overtakes talent, because it's a very specific car, and you got to really know the racetrack. What about racetrack? Right? We always talk about the cars itself. What about the racetrack? Do you think driving through the racetracks more often than not is important, especially coming into a championship as big as this?
Yeah, different tracks has a different kind of radius, the turns, So with driving this Super Formula, yes, you need to learn different types of radius turns. Yeah, correct.
Okay, so last question, Wicked. I want to ask one of the most experienced drivers here. What is your advice to people who, especially rookies, who want to come up in GT Championship?
Yeah, just learn from the pros. Yeah, gain more experience with more track time, online races, multiplayer with friends and families at home. So yeah, you just keep on practicing, get your lines right, and you'll be like us soon in the future.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much, Wicked. That was amazing. Great advice. Just keep at it. Don't give up, right? Don't give up, ladies and gentlemen. All right, come on over. Let's head on to our next driver that we're going to be talking to. We're going to be talking to Danish. Where is Danish? Danish is at Sim 3. Oh, there you are, Danish. All right, let's head on over here. What's up, Danish? Apa khabar, Danish? Sehat tak? How are you? You're good. All right, so how are you feeling after today's first, second, and third race? Great positioning in our final third race, great driving, good focus. But what about the whole experience from race 1, 2, and 3? How are you feeling?
Well, I mean, today I think the main goal was just playing it safe, just trying to not take too much risk wherever possible, and yeah, I think I just did what I had to do today.
Fantastic. As one of the best drivers, I mean, you competed not just in GT Championship in Malaysia, you actually competed in Asia GT Championship, right? Okay, so how important is experience, especially when it comes to driving in a championship level where you're going up against really, really good racers and drivers? How important is experience?
I think the more races you do, the more you learn. So whether it's you make a strategy mistake or an error during the race, you learn from it, and the more races you do, the more you learn, and the more you're prepared for what to expect in the future races. Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, so basically what you're trying to say is make as many mistakes as you can so you can learn from the mistakes.
I mean, the best way to learn is to learn from your mistakes. I don't say don't make mistakes. Like sometimes there's some mistakes which are unintentional, like they happen at the spur of the moment. But then you learn from them, and that's how you improve.
Fantastic. All right, last question. I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked Wicked because I think it's a very important question. I mean, I saw the difference in speed when we look at Super Formula compared to the normal cars. Do you think that Super Formula affects, it actually separates the men from the boys?
Well, this car has got a downforce, so you really have to push the limits of the car. Because he has got a downforce, you can take like all the corners flat out, and he has got a top speed. So you have to really push the car beyond its capability sometimes. And in the race, because there's a lot of dirty air, a lot of turbulence from the car in front, so it's very hard to follow in the fast corners. So you have to drive differently when you're following someone. Like you got to lift and coast a lot, just take it easy in the corners. And you have the overtake button, the nitro system, so you can use that to catch back up.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. That was Danish. Danish, thank you so much, Danish. Actually, to be honest, I learned a lot. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us once again. Now, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube live at home, don't forget to comment questions to your favorite drivers. And if you have time, I'll go over it, I'll read it, and who knows, maybe I'll go up to the driver and ask it for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a nice video for you recapping our races today. Let's have a look.
Hi everyone, I'm Ian James, a sim racer turned Toyota Gazoo Racing rookie. And I'm thrilled to be giving you a rundown of some of the cars that will be used in this year's TGR Malaysia eRacing Championship Grand Final. First and foremost, we have arguably Toyota's most iconic and legendary sports car, the GR Supra race car GR4. The GR Supra race car GR4 is based on Toyota's legendary sports car but re-engineered for racing to match GT4 regulations. Under the hood, it carries a 3-litre turbocharged inline-6 engine producing around 430 horsepower with a front-engine rear-wheel drive setup. This combination gives it incredible straight-line speed while keeping that classic Supra balance and feel. What makes the GR4 version special is its race-tuned suspension, aerodynamics, and braking system, all designed to deliver consistency and control in long competitive stints. In Gran Turismo 7, this car demands precision and rewards smooth driving, making it a perfect test of both speed and strategy for our e-racers. The GR Supra has always symbolized performance and passion, and now in the GR4 race car, it becomes the ultimate machine to push drivers to their limits. You'll see it in action in the Special Campus Tour race and race 1 of the Grand Final. And then, we have the GR10 Hybrid, the pinnacle of Gazoo racing performance. The GR10 Hybrid is Toyota's Le Mans hypercar, the same machine that has dominated the FIA World Endurance Championship and conquered the 24 Hours of Le Mans. It's powered by a 3.5-litre twin-turbocharged V6 engine paired with a hybrid electric motor, delivering a combined output of over 680 horsepower. With all-wheel drive, advanced aerodynamics, and cutting-edge hybrid technology, the GR10 is built for both speed and endurance. It's not just about raw power, it's about efficiency, strategy, and consistency over long races. In Gran Turismo 7, mastering the GR10 Hybrid will challenge drivers to balance its incredible acceleration, high cornering grip, and hybrid boost management. It's the ultimate test of skill, racecraft, and endurance. A challenging race car for a fitting finish in the final race of our championship.
Alright, so you have already seen what has been happening on this entire stage there, Victor. I mean, race 3 has been really incredible, especially for Group A. And I can tell you, I'm really excited for Group B, if you ask me.
Yeah, I'm also excited to see what's going to be for Grand Finals, because the two cars we saw in that video just now are the two cars that are going to be used for the Grand Finals itself. So that's going to be exciting to see. But as well, we're going to be having a look right now at some of the highlights here for the race that just concluded right now for Group A. So here we go. From the start itself, Taj Aiman had a good start alongside with Danish Warren, but you got to watch for Chandra Mauli Adnan, who attempted to make a move from the outside of La Source here, and looked like he was almost going to be able to make it, but unfortunately couldn't quite nail it on the exit here, but he still continued to fight all the way to Lacooms, and from that moment on, it looked like Chandra Mauli Adnan may have maybe a top contender here inside of the top 3 at this stage here. But Lau Wicket from behind, though, have been putting up some really good moves. First, he did it onto Nabil Aslan through the outside of Lacooms' first corner. Then later on, he did that to Rio Pandakusuma as well. Also, a similar move on the same corner, no less. So he's already looking at top form here. Then by the time he got up to Wayne Go, well, he decided to switch things around. Tries to go around from the inside of the first corner of Lacooms. Got a really good draft going up through the Campbell Straight here, and indeed that was what allowed him to have a taste of that podium. Then in terms of that tire strategy, of course, Lau Wicket ran a slightly different strategy than the two front runners, Taj Aiman and Danish Warren, as he started on that medium tire. In the meantime, Nabil Aslan was still looking to try to eke his way into the top 5 here, and he's got Rio Pandakusuma as his main obstacle in that regard, and the two of them tussle each other before Nabil finally got the better of him at chicane. In spite of the fact that Rio Pandakusuma had to use his overtake there, Nabil Aslan was still able to take him out at the exit of chicanes. So with the race wrapping up towards the end, there was Taj Aiman, who saw the checkered flag, completing his dominance over Group A, securing him the highest amount of points inside this group and possibly a ticket straight into the Grand Finals.
What an insane race, especially for Group A. I think that is pretty much wrapped up for Group A there, ladies and gentlemen. You have already seen the highlights. Taj Aiman leading this race in P1, Danish Warren, and then you can absolutely do the math behind it, who is on from the 3rd position all the way to the 5th. Well, Victor, I think we are pretty much done with Group A. Yeah. And what a race it has been. And right now we are shifting our focus onto Group B. We got lots of amazing talented drivers in Group B, and I can really tell you these are the semi-finalists that has been rolling from race 1 and race 2. Nakib Aslan, Iqbal Suji, Rajesh Shaukat, and then Putra Zbira. We got Azib as well, Chong Kai Chang, who has shown us lots of potential in the race. Winning race 2, of course, Yong Jian. We also have Myo Mohammad Hafiz, Jin Ben, and also Adam Harit there, Victor.
Yeah, and Nakib Aslan is the one who currently holds the highest amount of points here for the Group B, as we have a look later on the overall result there. But yeah, this is another group that hopefully going to be fighting here for the top 10, the final 5 slots for the top 10 finalists here. And there's, boy, a lot of really good talent inside this group itself. A former champion in the form of Iqbal Suji, a very decorated driver in form of Nakib Aslan, and of course the first ever champion in Malaysia, Myor Hafiz still in the mix. So here are the points itself. Nakib Aslan unfortunately caught a penalty in race number 1. In fact, Iqbal Suji and Raja Mir Shaukat also dealt the same amount of penalties as well. So that's actually dropped them, at least dropped Raja Mir Shaukat several positions down into P9 right now overall. But Nakib Aslan still remains on top here, 43 points compared to Taj Ayman's 45. It's very close between the two of them in terms of that overall performance. Iqbal Suji, though, didn't quite have as good as a race 1, but we're looking to see whether he'll be able to recover in this race itself. Then Chong Kai Chang, you know, he missed out on race 1 due to the DNF. Lost out a lot of points on what could have been a race win. Didn't manage to recover back in race 2, and now this race 3, he's going to be tied together with Putra Aswira Shahazam in terms of points right now. So a good race 3 here could certainly secure Chong Kai Chang that ticket.
You know, even in race 1, the victor, he still managed to get 2 points. I think that is for the fastest lap and also the other one, right? So, I mean, he didn't walk away with nothing, the victor. He still managed to get something out of it, and it's paying off really well. Especially right now, he's in P2. Well, it is one more race to go in Group B, ladies and gentlemen. One more race to go. And this race will determine everything and who are the top 5 drivers will be qualifying from here.
Yeah, P4 all the way to P8 is also very close in terms of point, maybe separated by 1 to 2 points per position here. So I think it still could be anyone's game here, at least for those 4 drivers, 4 to 5 drivers, I should say, in order to make it into the finals here. So it all hinges upon the performance here in race number 3. Now, well, with everything all said and done here, you know, it's been incredible seeing all the racing that we've experienced since this morning. But now it's going to be coming to a close here. You know, top 20 finalists entered here. Only 10 guys will be proceeding into the second day, and 10 guys, unfortunately, will say goodbye, unfortunately, by the end of today itself.
Oh man, I mean, even in the previous years that we have already seen some of them walk away. I mean, it was heartbreaking because most of them deserve it, but then in the end of the day, it is only going to be 5 drivers there, Victor, and the point matters a lot. So right now, we are on the hunt to find another 5 more drivers that will be qualifying into the grand finale. Till then, it is going to be showtime for the rest of these races.
Yeah, here we go. This is the track as we've seen early on in Group A. It's still Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps, located in Belgium, up in the hills. A very beautiful place if you actually get to visit it in real life. 7 kilometers long with 21 corners, especially in the Formula car that we're going to be running here. These laps actually fly by so quickly. The tires and the track conditions have been balloted here. It's still going to be clear weather, I believe, in terms of the track itself. But certainly, as we've seen from the Group A race, there's still lots of opportunities to overtake, especially at the end of the Camel Straight going to Lacoumes. That seems to be a favorite spot for Lau Wei-Kit, which is going to be a spot to watch out for our Group B finalists. We're going to be finding that out.
Absolutely. So there you go. An overall look, I would say, on the Temple of Speed. And right now, it is going to be the weapon of destruction, or I would say the machine of the day. It is going to be the Super Formula SF23. You've already seen the insane speed from the first race just now, especially race 3 Group A. And right now, we got 1 more to go there, Victor. Let's see who handles this mission better.
Yeah. This is Japan's version of like an Indy car, if you want to think about it, or a Formula 2 car in terms of that top line speed. But it's a very powerful and very agile machine. And as we've seen from the racing in Group A, it requires quite a lot of focus and attention in order to drive. So we're certainly going to watch out and see how these Group B drivers will be taking it to the track later on.
Absolutely. I just can't wait to see how they are actually lining up and gearing up now, because, you know, the pressure is piling up. They have already kind of know, you know, statistically who's going to go into the final. And right now they want to make a name for themselves. They really want to put themselves there. So it is going to, you know, take a lot of things to actually get there, Victor. It's not easy as how we look on the screen. You know, people might think, oh, it's just an e-sport racing. But no, the pressure over here is different, you know. Yeah, it is absolutely different. It's almost closer to what you get on an actual racetrack, you know. But I can really tell you from here, some of these races have actually gone into the actual world of racing. We got amazing examples like the Aslan brothers. We got Taj Ayman right now. He's not only an alien over here, ladies and gentlemen, he's even racing in the actual Sepang track. So that shows, you know, from virtual to reality is possible, and it's not limited to here. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Especially with Nakib Aslan, you know, he started off from sim racing itself, and eventually was able to make the move into real life motorsports. He currently drives in the GR86 Cup in Japan itself. You just imagine how cool that is, you know. But this is actually like Nakib's first time competing in Gran Turismo. It's great to see that he actually still performs very well, you know, still racking up the top points inside of Group B itself. Now the question still is like, once he has to face off against people like Taj Ayman, like Danish Biggest Warren, even Wayne Goh, who has been a multi-time finalist here, how will Nakib Aslan stack up here? Because his experience when it comes to sim racing is more on the PC side of things, whereas with the PlayStation side of Gran Turismo, he has much less experience overall in general. So it's been interesting, I think, especially for him, a very interesting learning experience overall. But knowing how he does perform, you know, in virtually every series he goes into, he's always continued to impress. First time he ever came into the TGR Vios, as a rookie, he already dominated that championship. Then he made the move up to sporting class, also dominated the sporting class. Then he comes up to super sporting class, also won the championship for that.
Yeah, I mean, he has been proving everywhere he goes there, Victor. You know, he's not here for fun and games or just to participate. He's here to dominate, man, and that's what he has been showing so far.
Yeah, as for the other drivers here, I mean, the young blood as well. Like, we saw a lot of like really good action going on between like No Young Jin with the older drivers, and even Chong Jin Bin also managed to get some good moves going on early on inside of race 2. And speaking of race number 3, we're going to be jumping in now, starting from their championship position currently after race 1 and 2. Race 3 is now go here for our Group B drivers, Nakib Aslan and Chong Kai-chan starting alongside. Nakib is going to have the first turn into La Source. Chong Kai-chan is going to have to fight with Putra's Wira, likely going downhill towards Eau Rouge right now. Iqbal Suji and Mior Hafiz are also behind, also trying to jostle for position, but looks like Iqbal Suji will still be able to stay ahead right now of Mior Hafiz. Down they go through Eau Rouge and up through Radion. Iqbal Suji is getting a little bit of a draft right now onto Putra's Wira, is going to try to challenge him, going to Lakoum. Bit of tussling and going on in the background there as No Young Jen and another driver got a little bit touchy-feely going out of Radion right now. Chong Kai-chang, he's actually trying to fight Nakib. I think he's already got to the lead from Nakib. Chong Jin Bin unfortunately goes a little bit off the track there, trying to avoid some of the tangling going on with the midfield right now, but comes in still in 7th place. Chong Kai-chang in the meantime, he is in the lead of the race coming out of Lakoum, so now he is looking like in a good position here to try to maximize his points coming out of race 2.
I think if he does that, Victor, that'll be one of the best moments in this entire race 3. And right now he is on a really good form, you know, especially winning race 2. He's on for the hunt for the position at number 1 in race 3 again. And let's see if that will happen or not, because we still have Nakib Aslan and also Putra Azwira, who might be putting on a challenge for him. Iqbal Suji as well. Well, things did not going really well for him then, but maybe for this race 3, it could be going in his favor. We're on board with Chong Kai-chang, who just earlier won that race in a very dramatic way, and right now it is all up to him there, Victor. You know, it is all down to you, because you know, it is you are the one that's actually controlling the car, no one else.
Yeah, and for Chong Kai-chang especially, like, I rate him very highly here for race 3 in particular, because even though he has been a multi-time finalist here, first runner-up in 2024, second runner-up in 2023 when it comes to TGR, but outside of TGR in the Player 00 Malaysia, which was an F1 esport race, which is also in these kind of Formula cars, just in a different game, he was a champion of that one here. So this is certainly going to be the best possible home ground for him in terms of being able to win this race, and with him already taking the lead from Nakib Aslan, it looks like he's pretty much on the way in order to pull that off.
Yeah, we're coming towards the holy grail of the track. We're on board with the 2022 champion of this tournament, Iqbal Suji, right now in P3. He is now rolling hard just to find a way through towards the next position right now, which is Nakib Aslan right now, who's on P2 there, Victor. He's on a 1.9 second penalty, but right now it seems like Young Jen has an opportunity over here. He's in P5. Mior Mohammad Hafiz lurking in from the back as well, but Young Jen right now fighting maybe from... Oh! What happened over there, Victor?
He lost grip in the middle of the corner there, and Mior Hafiz was able to capitalize on that, swoops in to take P5 away from Young Jen, so comes out of that unscathed. Young Jen is just lucky that he didn't crash out of that corner there, still maintains himself in P6 ahead of Chong Jin Bin as well as Adam Harith.
Yeah, Mior Mohammad Hafiz right now climbs into P5 after that incident right now. And Young Jen right now in P6. Well, he's one of the newcomers in this semi-finals, I would say. And right now he's experiencing how it feels to be in the semi-final there, Victor, because it's absolutely not easy as what you look right now. But maybe in the future, he might be a champion. We never know.
I mean, he's only 19 years old.
Yeah.
I think like there's certainly a lot of potential out from this youngster here. So the thing is that he still needs to be able to make it into the finals, though, you know, to keep that streak going. So he's made it all this far. So now he's only one step away from being able to make it into tomorrow's grand finals.
Yeah, he's right now chasing down the old man up in the front. He's going to be Pure Mohammad Hafiz, so it's been in this rank many times in multiple different championships throughout the years. But Mio Hafiz, despite the experience, he has been struggling a little bit when it comes to consistency. And Mio, I just told you there, Victor. Yeah, and this is going to be an opportunity for Young Jen right now to leave Mio Mohammad Hafiz right behind him and takes into P5.
Yeah, that's a big mistake there from Mior, going way too wide, coming out chicanes and going on. Jen was able to take it back, but look at that, another slip there from Mior Hafiz, allowing Chong Jin Bin now to take his track position. And Chong Jin Bin moves up to P6 as it goes downhill towards Eau Rouge. And now Yongjen comes up to Radion, still in P5, still less than half a second ahead here. Nakib Aslan in the meantime has caught up Chong Kai Chang, so Chong Kai Chang, even though he managed to beat him in that first lap, Nakib Aslan is back, but this time with a vengeance.
Absolutely, man. Both of these Aslan brothers have been dominating this race, I would say, man. Group A, and right now in Group B, it's going to be Nakib that could be pulling things over here, especially Chong Kai Chang right now is under pressure with only 0.4 seconds. Right behind him is going to be Nakib right now, and he's definitely going to go for the push there, Victor. Chong Kai Chang, you're definitely warned over here.
Yeah, well, they're a lot closer early on with the Camel Straight, but by the time they got through now towards Kuhan, a very tricky part to do here, even in these Formula cars. You basically have to just lift off and downshift a little bit and just turn in and hope that your car just hangs on to the grip there. But then again, with the amount of downforce that these Super Formula cars generate, there's certainly a lot of confidence in these for these drivers here to use up all that grip. Nakib Aslan, though, slipping a little bit behind here. He looked closer to Chong Kai Chang earlier, but now has seemed to fallen back now to a 1.2 second gap.
Yeah, we are rolling on a 625 horsepower of a beast over here there, Victor. And Nakib Aslan right now pushing every inch he could over here. Chong Kai Chang really needs to be careful as we are coming towards the final corner now, I would say. And right now, it is going to be a moment for both of these two, and where they are going to be putting in. Chong Kai Chang needs to run away as much as he could there, Victor, because on this first turn over here, that is going to be really crucial for Nakib Aslan to get an opportunity for an overtake.
Yeah, and mind you, they still have a lot of fuel left in their overtake boost here. You can see there's two separate gas tanks here. Like there's the one that's for the actual fuel on the left-hand side, and then there's the overtake fuel that there's additional fuel they can spend in order to get an extra boost, especially on the straights. So Nakib Aslan can use that, but Chong Kai Chang will also be able to use that at the same time to defend against this. But Nakib right now is getting a good run up. He's getting a slipstream as well from Chong Kai Chang. Chong is going to try to take a very defensive line here. Nakib's going to have to fight around the outside here, but Chong Kai Chang can just outbreak him and hopefully be able to still stay ahead of Nakib Aslan. And yes, indeed, he still stays ahead of him for now.
Yeah, he's closing every door he could there. Nakib Aslan still putting on the pressure towards Chong Kai Chang. Chong Kai Chang needs to defend his position. Despite, you know, we can still see the fastest man on the track is going to be Nakib Aslan. So he has the speed right now. It is just a matter of time unless he find a way through, unless we see Chong Kai Chang is able to defend and something happens, you know. But at this moment, nothing much have happened there, Victor. It is going to be Chong Kai Chang still leading this race in P1, and Nakib Aslan just waiting for that right opportunity for an overtake.
Yeah, I mean, he's still certainly going to be biding his time again. They still have a pit stop to do later on this race. I should also remind you guys that the ballots when it comes to tires is 16 times. So it's actually twice as much as it was with Group A earlier on. So the tires will wear out a lot faster. That's why these drivers decided to start on the hard tire instead, given that the hard tire wears out a lot slower compared to the medium. So certainly it's going to be the tire choice here for these drivers to do that first early long stint.
Yeah, so we are down on to 7 minutes of race time so far, of 25 minutes, and so far things have been going really well for Chong Kai Chang, who is right now still leading this race, keeping himself in P1 right now around the last corner towards the long straights later on. But right now it still seems like Iqbal Suji is still consistently keeping himself in P3 there, Victor.
Yep.
And he's still finding a way through. Nakib Aslan as well. The gap is pretty much widening up. But on the other side, Chong Kai Chang needs to actually, you know, find a way to not be behind Nakib Aslan all the time there, Victor. Because that is danger lurking right behind.
You know, we have been talking a lot about Touch Ayman as far as like former champions go. But Iqbal Suji, you know, he actually has a lot more going for him besides just the one championship that he got for TGR. Because besides that, he's also like the FIA Rally Star in 2023 for the Asia Pacific. He was a finalist for that competition itself. So not only is he good at circuit racing, he also demonstrates that he has ability to do it on the dirt as well. But besides that, Iqbal Suji has also been instrumental in training up like a new generation of sim racers. Himself.
Whoa! What?
What the heck was that?
What was that?
I think it might have been a little bit of a glitch, but I think for a moment we saw Mio Hafiz flying off of the track there and back onto it. Although I think that might just have been a network glitch there, to be fair. Yeah, as I was saying, like Iqbal Suji has been also like working hard behind the scenes as a driver coach. Adam Harif struggling a little bit to keep the car on the track though. It seems with his car. Look can see his consternation.
I mean, one person is flying around, one person is sliding through. Well, Spa's full of mysteries, I would say again.
Full of mysteries and magic, and Adam would be hoping for some magic to come his way right now because he's struggling quite a bit in this condition here. His medium tires almost completely worn out now. He's probably going to have to pit in quite soon here. Probably swap off to a hard tire maybe, given the level of tire wear that's being applied to these cars at the moment. But yeah, at the moment, it is still very much status quo for a lot of the drivers here. Not many close battles to be had right now. Iqbal Suji especially is in a very awkward no man's land at this point. No car in front and no car behind. So he's not going to be able to get a slipstream or even donate a slipstream to anyone next to him. So, but pretty much, I think as long as he continues to stay consistent in this position here, we'll be guaranteed a P3 finish here for race 3.
Yeah, like I said, Victor, the gap is pretty much widening up between all of these races. In the meantime, if you just tune in our social medias, welcome to Toyota Gazoo Racing Malaysia eRacing Esports GT Championship 2025. We're underway for the race 3 of Group B. This is the final race, the deciding race before we enter the grand final. Only 5 races will be going into the grand finals out of 10 races. So it is all down to all these races over here. You know, the Group A is pretty much settled. We're going to be having a look on Group B right now. And talking about Group B, Iqbal Suji on the other side, as what you're talking about there, Victor, he has been developing a new generation of racers. You know, that's a really good initiative by him. And, you know, he's pushing through and, you know, he got the experience. He has won this competition back in 2022. So with that, he's definitely trying to find new talent and also growing them up.
Yeah, I mean, especially as a sim racing competitor himself through and through, he understands more, I think, than a lot of people about the importance of that early guidance and coaching, you know, that young drivers really need in order to be able to progress in their career. And who better to coach than the 2022 champion in Gran Turismo here in Iqbal Suji. So yeah, he's definitely using his talents very wisely here in order to help bring up the next generation of talent, as it were, here in Malaysia's sim racing scene.
Yep, Iqbal Suji right now still in his podium position. And right now, like what you said there, Victor, there's nobody front and the back. He's just all alone. You know, he's just maybe could use this video to demonstrate to his new students, you know, this is how you go through Spa. Yeah.
Chong Kai Chang, in the meantime, still in the lead, while Nakim Aslan at one point looking like he was getting closer. I think he's decided to conserve a little bit more on the tires, trying to battle out more and how long they can endure the stint rather than trying to battle it out in terms of track position here. And again, using a very smooth smooth application of the throttle there. Again, these cars do not use traction control. They only have ABS, which only helps in the braking, but not so much coming out of the source. And that is a very important corner to get a good exit out of, so you can maximize the speed on this very part of the track itself, the Camel Straight. And Chong Kai Chang, even though he did his best there, look at that, Nakib is actually creeping in there, getting a slipstream off of him, getting almost within 0.7 of a second before they had to brake for Lacoum.
Yeah, he needs to be really careful there, because we know Nakim Aslan, when you give him the chance, he's definitely going to come through. We are on board with the Terminator of Toyota Gazoo Racing. It is none other than Chong Kai Chang, who's right now in P1. Will he able to dominate this or not? That is going to be the question for the next couple of minutes to come. Remember, there's 25 minutes in this race, and we have down to 12 minutes right now there, Victor. And we still have another couple of minutes to go. Well, looking at how he has been going there, Victor, if he keeps this up, then there's a chance that he could be winning this.
It's a bit of a game of chicken, I should say, between both Chong Kai Chang and Nakib Aslan in terms of who's going to be the first one to get in the pits. But I think likely you can already see the graining on the tires. I just love the way Gran Turismo does its graphics here, because you can clearly see the graining already on Chong Kai Chang's tires, showing how worn out his hard tires are already. It's the same situation as well for Nakib Aslan, so the question only is like, when would they decide to go for the pit stop?
Yeah, he's clocking about 265 kilometers per hour there, Victor. You know, that is an insane speed so far in this long track of 7 kilometers of the Temple of Speed, Spa-Francorchamps. And right now, it seems like he's still holding on to it right behind there. As what you said, Nakib Aslan is just lurking behind, trying to find an opportunity, just waiting for an opportunity. And talking about opportunity, he's right behind him now. Oh, he's going to go into the pits.
Yep, going into the pits, and literally the same level of fuel between the two of them, so they're very much on similar strategies. So the only way one will be able to overcome on the other is purely going to be on-track action at this point now. More and more drivers now piling into the pits here. Iqbal Suji, Puchar Rira, Ngoyong Jen all joining inside the pits. Is anyone staying out? No, no one in the top 7, it seems, is going to be staying out. Muhammad Azid is still stuck all the way down, just only coming into Stavilo right about now. Same with Raja Mil Shaukat as well as Adam Harif, who are at the moment are still trying to catch their way towards the drivers who are in the pits at the moment. Now some of the drivers are already getting out. Chong Kai Chan, Nakib Aslan will be able to come out still in the same track positions as they were at the start. So Chong Kai Chan continues to lead this race here, but both of these drivers now have a fresh set of hard tires here on Nakib Aslan. I think might just be the same as well on Chong Kai Chang. So not much change in terms of their actual tire compound, which means that now it is really going to be down to the final 5 minutes of this race. Who's going to be way better here at managing their tires and managing their fuel?
Absolutely. I mean, I got one question to ask you there, Victor. Chong Kai Chang, if he goes up again, Tajizur Naiman in the grand finale, you know, could this be the season for him? Because even in the previous competition, previous championship, we saw he was the runner-up, I believe. Yeah,
he was the first
runner-up.
runner-up.
The first runner-up. So maybe if he does it again, and this time he's able to find his mojo in this race there, Victor, I think that will be one of the best ending for him there.
Again, it just feels like he's on that verge, isn't it?
Yeah, he's really...
It's just that Taj Aiman has been that dominant of a competitor for the last half a decade here that, you know, drivers who was as good as Chong Kai Chang couldn't really find an opportunity to take the title. But again, the performance that he's showing here, especially in these Formula cars, is certainly very impressive, beating even Nakib Aslan at this point here and still staying ahead of him coming out of pits. Now it's going to be down to the final 10 minutes of running here to determine whether or not he will be able to see that checkered flag first.
Yeah, Nakib Aslan right now in P2. I mean, how many competitions can you dominate there, Victor? You know, he has been on a really consistent show. I mean, not only on this, on different multiple championships and also different platforms, he has always been at his very best. But right now he has a job to chase on, and that is going to be Chong Kai Chang. And he's getting very closer and closer. As what we say, we still have more than 9 minutes to go in this race, so things could actually change up over here. But then Chong Kai Chang has been putting on a really consistent performance and not leaving any gap for Nakib Aslan to capitalize on it. But so far, so good for these two races. So P1 and P2 looking pretty much secure over here now, Victor.
Yeah, Nakib is just keeping the pressure on the Chong Kai Chang, but not doing anything too drastic here in order to try to gain an advantage. He knows that the real racing starts in the final lap here, and between the two of them, he wants to try to conserve as much tire as possible here so he can have everything at his disposal here to throw against Chong Kai Chang in the final lap of this race. But for now, he can be very content with still keeping within half a second of Chong Kai Chang coming out of the pits. He's already feeling the groove. He's already getting himself into the mood right now for a bit of action here, and we're hoping to see that this comes to an epic conclusion by the end of this 25 minutes.
Oh, you're hyping it up, man. You know, yeah, I mean, we can expect some crazy things to happen in the final lap, but because we have seen what Nakib is able to do in the final laps, you know, so never be surprised if you see something really out of this world, I would say. But man, what a race it has been so far between these two, and a consistent performance to actually keep themselves in P1 and P2 and leaving the rest of the others right behind is not an easy work, I would say. And Chong Kai Chang on the other side, despite in a race one where it was really a horrible moment for him there, where he did not able to win it or actually get into P3 or P2, because before he got disconnected or something on DNF there, Victor, he was in P3.
Yep.
And after that, he just completely went missing, only brought back 2 points, and right now on the race 2, he redeemed himself in P1, and right now in race 3, he's just few minutes away from actually winning it again.
Nakib Aslan is using his overtake quite a lot here in order to try to keep up with Chong Kai Chang. I'm a bit worried about that, mainly because like if he continues using it at this rate, he may not have much left by the time he gets to the end here. Whereas I want to see what is Chong Kai Chang's boost level at the moment here, because I think he may not have maybe have not used as much, but this is certainly where I'm seeing a lot of progression. Yeah, he still has a lot more. He still has like twice as much as what Nakib Aslan has at the moment, so he still has a lot to use at his disposal here to defend against Nakib should he catch up to his position here.
He's on a raw speed now, Victor. You know, he's not actually using much of the overtake button so far, and that shows, you know, he's doing everything he can at his very best, and right now it's all down to him. We're coming closer and closer towards the end, and right now let's see where these two will be putting themselves once the checkered flags is up.
Yeah, still have another what is that, 7 minutes?
6 minutes, yeah.
6 or 7 minutes to go here of racing, so this is all going to be coming down to the wire between these two drivers. I mean, if Chong Kai Chang does successfully take race 3, I think it's quite likely he may overtake Nakib Aslan as a points leader for Group B itself, so there's certainly a lot of pride riding here for Chong Kai Chang himself. You know, he, again, we've just tracked that progression from 2023, you know, second runner-up in 23, first runner-up in 24, now in 25. Could he become a champion? I think, like, if you just track that kind of like progression,
yeah, I mean,
quite likely.
I mean, what a progression if you ask me there, Victor. And you can still see lots of hunger in his face, you know. And even on the interviews, he's very humble. He's just telling, you know, what he needs to do, what's his next step. And it's incredible, the personality that he carries that is actually reflecting on the track as well. So I would not be surprised if this season things does not go in the way or in the favor of the 4-time champion.
Yeah, things already quite settled down at this point, especially after drivers have already completed their mandatory pit stops here. So, well, at the moment, Putra Azwira is sitting in that P5 position here, very much comfortably ahead, I think, of Mio Hafiz, or maybe might be a little bit closer than I think, though, looking at the mini-map at the moment. As right now, Chong Kai Chang comes through here onto the main straight one more time, still continuing to keep himself nicely ahead, still has a lot of overtake fuel left here to use in defense against Nakib Aslan, and it's really looking very nonplussed at all. In fact, even though he had like a frustrating technical issue in that first race, he was still very much all smiles, still very bubbly behind the scenes. So this goes to show, like, that in terms of that mental attitude, he still has a lot, a very good attitude overall when it comes to competing at this high level.
Of course, man. I mean, your mentality and your personality, everything plays on it. It's just not only your talent on the track, it is also how you carry yourself in this race and out of the race, of course. So that shows everything is reflecting over here there, Victor. So pretty much they're doing their very best.
Yeah.
We're still on board with Chong Kai Chang, still keeping himself in P1. Iqbal Suji right now has clocked the fastest man on the track, but I'm very sure he's okay with being P3 at this moment there, Victor, because catching these two up is going to be quite a difficult moment for him there, unless you're going to give much more different sets of tires or different rules and stuff, but that's not the entire case right now for Iqbal Suji.
Yeah, I just think in terms of points, like, he really doesn't have to fight that hard. You know, P3 is already a good result that will guarantee him into the finals either way. So I guess it just makes sense for him to just enjoy the drive, as it were, you know, inside of Gran Turismo 7 here. But yeah, I think in terms of that overall result in points here, like, wait, they're trying to look at what Iqbal Suji is, at least in comparison to the rest here. But in the meantime, you know, P3 is not going to be too bad for him, and he's not really in danger of losing a position to Chong Jinbin, given that he's 7 seconds ahead of the guy in 4th place.
Yeah, definitely not there, Victor. There's nobody right behind him, and also in front of him is just going to be Nakib Aslan and also Chong Kai Chang. Well, those two are battling all out. He's right now relaxing, and he knows that if he's able to get into P3, you know, the points is definitely going to reflect really good on him as well. But what a performance so far from the other two in the front there in P1 and P2. They are battling as much as they could there, Victor, but you know, these the grand finals that I'm really excited about, because so much of top-class talents, top-class, you know, performance that we have been seeing, especially in semi-finals. You know, the quality that we are seeing in the semi-finals, it's going to reflect really hard in the grand finals later on.
Yeah. Just had a look again on the overall results here for Group B, and like, again, I think like as it stands right now, based on the positions here, I think Putra and Jinbin might just be able to keep it inside of the points here in order for them to make it into the top 10. So barring anything happening within the next 3 minutes here, I think as long as this position holds here, might just be looking at a top 5 here of this championship currently racing, rather leading in the top 5 of this race itself.
Yep, 2 minutes left in this race. You're watching Toyota Gazoo Racing, Malaysia eRacing Esports GT Championship 2025 as we are underway for the final race of the day for Group B. This is race 3, the deciding race that we will find out who are the top 5 drivers that will be qualifying into the grand finale. We're on board with Chongjin Ben, who's right now in P4, but then it is going to be the podium position that matters the most so far, and Chong Kai Chang right now in P1, and he might be winning this the way he won it despite having a disastrous race 1, but P2 for Naqib Aslan, P3 for Iqbal Suji, and this is the man that we're just on board with. There you go, Chong Kai Chang, man. I just twisted the other way around. I mean, what a race he has been. I mean, incredible driving so far, and it's even funnier that, you know, Naqib could not catch up with him, but I might be saying this too early because we never know in the last lap. Magic can happen in Spa-Francorchamps.
Yeah, again, it ain't over until the fat lady sings. Yeah. And so they have to still bring that car home in order to be able to confirm the result, and it's still the official tabulation later on. Although I think so far, even across Group A and Group B as well, like race 3 has been pretty much incident-free as far as you can see, so perhaps not so much work needs to be done behind the scenes here in order to get that official result out. But what's for certain, though, is that the top 5, if you're seeing here in race 3, I think are quite likely going to be the top 5 that will be joining us in the finals should things proceed as it were right now. And we're hoping that at least in terms of that pit strategy, or rather the race strategy, that these guys have perfectly calculated out exactly how much they need in order to make it to the end of the race, and it does seem like that would be the case here, at least for Chong Kai Chang.
Yeah, tires looking good there, Victor. Nothing much to actually worry about. And even on the fuel as well, there's nothing much to actually talk about as well. But Chong Kai Chang on a very high level of performance today. He just needs to win this in order for him to, you know, get another chance at the title, especially for the grand finale tomorrow.
That's the thing, if you think about it, if Chong Kai Chang actually won race number 1,
yes,
he would be the points leader here for Group B. So if anything, this is just a kind of like a consolation prize for pride here for Chong Kai Chang. I think in terms of what he needed to do in order to make it to the grand finals, he's already achieved that, I feel, from race 2 onwards here. And for race 3 itself, like as long as he stays in the top 3, I think already he would have guaranteed that slot anyway, but he just went up and beyond and was still able to take the lead from the race right from lap 1 itself, from turn 1 itself. So we'll see whether or not Chong Kai Chang will be able to bring it home this time around.
Yeah, you definitely need to bring it home there, Victor. That's the most important moment at this moment. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think
final lap.
Yeah. Final
I was waiting. It's like, where's the final lap? Because we are overlapping the time there. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final lap of Toyota Gazoo Racing, Malaysia eRacing Esports GT Championship semi-finals, race 3, Group B. And we are moments away to actually find the winner of this race.
Yep, and we might be staring at the winner himself here in the form of Chong Kai Chang, who has led this race ever since he took the lead from lap 1 itself. So although it looked like it was going to be a close battle between him and Naqib Aslan coming out of the pits here, Chong Kai Chang still had plenty of overtake fuel left, and now he's just only spending it in this final lap here, maybe to try to go for the record, which at the moment is actually being held by Iqbal Suji, mind you. He will have the fastest lap point if Chong Kai Chang isn't able to beat it, but you can see that his overtake is on. He's been spending a lot of that that extra boost here. He wants to use up everything he can here, and if he can get that extra point, that might just give him the edge here, at least against Naqib Aslan in terms of the top of the board here for Group B. But safe to say, the drivers on the podium here, I think, have already secured their spot into the grand finals. It's just a question of whether or not Jinbin as well as Putra will have enough once the official results are out. But safe to say, though, been incredible racing we've seen here today, isn't it?
It's definitely pushing through there, Victor. Absolutely, it's an incredible race we have been seeing, especially Chong Kai Chang leading this race from P1, and right now he is finishing this race in the way he wanted there. We are coming very, very close towards the end, and once that final sector is done, we are gonna go into the checkered flag. I mean, all flowers right now for this man there, Victor. You know, he deserves it. What a race it has been. He really deserves it. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, again, he was definitely on like on a vengeance run, pretty much. You know,
Yeah.
ever since he lost out on race 1. But man, what a way to come back here for Chong Kai Chang, coming through the chicanes now, 2 seconds ahead of Nakib Aslan, coming to take the checkered flag first here for race 3 victory here for Group B. Nakib Aslan makes it into second place. Iqbal Suji should be following along now, and he does confirm the former champion makes it into the podium position for the final race of the semi-finals for Group B. Chong Jinbin, the youngster, celebrating as he comes across the line to take a 4th position finish, and Putra Azwira comes through the chicane now to pick up P5.
What a race, ladies and gentlemen. That is the end of the semi-finals. Race 3, Group B. Chong Kai Chang, the man of the moment, I would say. You know, race 2 and race 3 has been written incredibly just for him. And on the other side, I could not put Iqbal Suji and the rest of the others coming through till P5 there, Victor. But right now, we're going to be having a look on the provisional result. But the actual result, well, that is going to be the surprise.
Yeah, well, that we'll leave that for last for
Yeah.
sure here. So yeah, Group B now having finished off their race here. We're going to have a look at the provisional results soon here. Again, lots of incredible action when it came to the start of this thing. I think a lot more action, to be fair, when it came to Group A. I mean, mostly thanks to Lao Wei Kit's incredible passing performance that he managed to pull off here in this final race for the semifinals. But yeah, for Group B, I think like it was a very good race here, especially for Chong Kai Chang. You know, I was like, as I was saying to you earlier on during the race, you know, imagine if you've actually won race 1
Yeah.
itself, then he would already just be in the conversation of that rivalry with Touch Ishwin Aiman, simply because of that performance. But sometimes, as in real life as well, luck does play a factor in this, and Chong Kai Chang was just unlucky to have that DNF, you know, in the first race itself that compromised his championship. But he came back in such a strong way, a win in race number 2, and now a win in race number 3.
Well, I would say, you know, race is full of mysteries and luck there, Victor. But let's see what actually plays for all of these races. And there you go. Let's have a look on the provisional results. Chong Kai Chang right now in P1, winning this race. P2 for Nakib Aslan. He tried his very best there, but then Chong Kai Chang came off victorious in P1. P3 for Iqbal Suji. He was really much settled over there, Victor. You know, he doesn't have much pressure in front and at the back. And P4, wow, Chong Jinbin.
Chong Jinbin.
Can you believe it? Wow.
Yeah, and the youngster joins us
Yeah.
and potentially into the semifinals, though, if this does hold in terms of points. Putra Azwira, he is a veteran of TGR, and it's great to see that he's able to make it a top 5 here in his 3rd and final race of the semifinals. Go Young Jin, another youngster, just missed out on a P5 here. He was actually quite close to Putra towards the end of the race, but still was not able to overcome him. But he does overcome Mior Hafiz, though, who only comes in P7, just ahead of Azib, another youngster and newcomer into TGR's main event here. And then finally, we'll see the next page here. Raja Amir Shaka makes it into P9. Adam Harib rounds it up in the top 10.
Yeah, perfect performance so far, and the results will reflect later on once the official result is out. But one thing for sure is that, Victor, gotta say I enjoyed this Group B race, especially the Group B has been loaded with incredible talents, you know. So, you know, most of them actually deserve to go through, but in the end of the day, there's only going to be 5 that will be qualifying. But one thing for sure is that, you know, we are really getting prepared for the grand finale. The grand finale is just brewing on the other side there, Victor.
Yep.
And every season, I tell you, the grand finals has always been at the very peak of entertainment. And hopefully this year, it's going to be much more bigger than that. Well, I think we're going to be having a small insights with some of our races from Group B. So if that is all good, we're going to be going on with our main man up in the front, Mr. Faisal. Here we go.
All right, what's up, everyone? Thank you, Victor. Thank you, Matthew. And we are with Chong Kai Chang. What's up, everybody? Give a round of applause. Chong Kai Chang, that was an amazing performance, you know. I just gotta ask you, how do you feel after getting pole position here today at race 3?
Feeling very happy, especially after the first race, which I sadly got disconnected. So the pressure was definitely on from that point onwards, but glad to be able to come back and fight in this final race. So I think if my math is not wrong, I'm through to tomorrow as well. So yeah, happy for that.
We're all happy for you too. You know, you were right, right? Like during the first race, something happened, you know. unlucky, so sorry to hear about that. But then he came back with race 2 and race 3, getting pole position and quite a good lead too for quite some time. How was the pressure? You knew you were at number 1. You knew you had to win. You couldn't make a mistake. What was going through your mind?
For me, it's just trying to think about what Naki was trying to do, because for Super Formula, we actually have an overtake button, so that actually adds another element in terms of our strategy. So when I saw that he was trying to give a gap for a few laps, so most likely he's conserving his fuel and also his tires. But towards the lap that we are supposed to pit, I noticed that he actually came very close to me, so I knew what he was going to do, and I pretty quickly countered that.
All right, these are the things you don't see if you're watching the game. You know, he has explained thoroughly, and since you've mentioned Nakib mana Nakib? So Nakib was right behind him the whole way through. They pitted together. You thought one day they'd get married. So I want to ask you, how big was that pressure having Nakib right on your tail the whole time?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of pressure because, as most of us know, Nakib is actually a real-life racer as well. So the element of pressure there is definitely a bit different because we know that he has real track experience and so on. So what's going through his mind? Is it the same with the sim racing community? We are not sure, but we just do what we are trying to do and just do our best.
Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Chang Kai Chang, an amazing driver. Congratulations. And now, let's head on over. We are going to go talk to Nakib. Nakib, kau jangan lari Nakib. We are going to be right here with you. What's up, Nakib? Apa khabar, Nakib? How are you? Nice to meet you. All right, so first I got to ask a question. How was your experience going through today's GT Championship from race 1 to race 2 and now finally at race 3?
It's been really good. My first experience of GT Malaysia. So yeah, everything's very new. I'm trying to adapt as fast as I can. These guys are really quick out there, so a lot for me to learn. But I think we executed every race really good. And most importantly, we made it through the final. So job done for today.
For today, fantastic words. Now I have to ask. Now, Kai Chang was talking about your experience driving real cars. Do you think driving eSims together with real cars help you adapt quicker and faster during race 3?
I think the eSIM helps the real life racing more. That's the more crucial part. Obviously, jumping from different cars always helps adaptability. Trying to get on the ball straight away. So yeah, it helps, but ultimately nothing beats seat time, and these guys have a lot of seat time, you know, so but again, I'm just trying to learn as much as I can, trying to get onto the pace as quickly as I can, and I think we did really good today. In the race 3 just now, Kai Chang drove really well, no mistakes, so fair play to him.
Fair play. All right, last question, final question for you, Nakib. You're one of the youngest drivers here. Compared to Kai Chang. Kai Chang's a very experienced driver. Do you believe that hard work can overtake experience, or do you believe like the experience driving and the track will give you a slightly better advantage?
For me personally, a hard worker would beat everyone. You know, no matter what experience you have, no matter what amount of talent you have, if you don't put in the work, someone's going to beat you out there. Someone's going to be out there putting in the effort, putting in the practice. And that's what I live by. I put in the work, I work towards making sure I get everything under control and let the results say for itself after that.
Fantastic, Nakib. I was actually going to ask you one more question. Actually, I was going to ask you any advice that you have for everyone out there. But apparently you already did. Hard work beats everything. You believe that hard work, putting in the time, putting in the effort. What was your line just now? Something about the seat, something? Seat time. Okay, so seat time is important. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Nakib. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to throw it to our commentators as we have a look at Group B highlights for Race 3. Take it away, Matthew and Victor.
All right, thank you very much, Faisal. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look on the semi-finals highlight for Group B, Race 3, a dramatic race, I would say. But in the end of the day, there's only going to be one winner in this. And what a start from some of these races today there, Victor.
Yeah, a lot of jostling going on in the back line there. Actually, for the midfield, as they were jostling, trying to get into the top 5. You're seeing Ngo Young-jen and Mio Hafiz were locking that battle here. This was where he slipped out a little bit, forcing Jinbin to take evasive action. But in the end, though, Mio Hafiz was able to pull ahead of that group and was looking pretty solid in that 5th place up until this point here. He went way too wide on the exit of chicane there, and then allowed Ngo Young-jen to actually run up onto him. And this is what we referred to earlier on. As Nakim Aslan was using as much of the overtakes he can, to gain onto Chong Kai-chan. But Chong Kai-chan, he really was very strategic in the way that he was playing this battle here, because not only he was able to pass, from that first lap there, but he was able to maintain that lead. By the time we got to the very end of the race here, Chong Kai-chan was 2 seconds ahead and very comfortably in the lead, and took the checkered flag, to take the win here in race number 3, the 2nd win for him in Group B.
Yeah, so well done to all of our racers in Group B. They have done a really wonderful job. And right now it is down to the official results, where who will be qualifying into the grand finals. We already know some of them, but right now there is going to be a little bit of a calculation here and there to find out who are the actual top 5 that will be going into the next stage.
Yeah, indeed. So, wow, with all the Group A and Group B done, I can't wait to see what's going to be happening tomorrow here. Make sure you guys tune in for that. The grand finals is going to come down to 3 races between the top 10 finalists, will be determined once the official results have already been tabulated across both groups here. So it's an incredible day of racing that we had here. There's still money at stake here, especially once we come to tomorrow, and also to find out as well for the GT round who is going to be our Malaysian representatives for the regional championship. Is going to be happening later on this year.
Yeah, every season we see top drivers, 10 of the top drivers fighting it all out, but this time it is going to be a little bit different, because we started with a whole different format there, Victor, and a whole different platforms as well, not like those previous years where we only focus on GT, but this time we had Asacha, we had iRacing, and so many other platforms, and all the way till here we are in GT7, so home ground for some races, and maybe a new ground for some of them, but in the end of the day, there's always going to be one winner there, Victor, that one winner that will be going back with the title for this year. So I guess we're going to go on with our main man on the stage for some special appearance from certain people, and hope everything is going to go good. So Mr. Faisal, over to you, my man.
Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Victor. I love that he called me a big man. Anyways, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us here today. Now, we're just going to talk a little bit about what's happening after this. We've got campus tour race lined up for everyone here. But before that, I actually got 2 special people right next to me. These are your TGR rookies. Ladies and gentlemen, can we get a round sound of applause to our TGR rookies? Woo-hoo! All right, ladies and gentlemen, on my right and your left, the wonderful, the beautiful Genevieve Wee. Hi, Genevieve, say hi.
Hi, everyone.
All right, okay. Round of applause, tepuk le tangan, Okay, now we're going to start interviewing them shortly, but I would like to introduce Ian James, everyone. Ian James. Oh, lama, Ian. What is this? Genevieve. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Now, we're going to talk about our TGR rookies this year. And we've got Genevieve. Genevieve, tell us a bit more about yourself before we get into details on how she became a TGR rookie.
So, hi, everyone. Once again, my name is Genevieve. You guys can call me Jen. I'm 20 years old this year, and I'm actually Sunway alumni. I graduated here last year in June. I took my A-levels here, and I am a TGR rookie.
All right, fantastic. All right, Ian, what about you, Ian? Okay. Now you got your mic.
So, hi, everyone. My name is Ian James. I'm 23 this year. I am from Kuala Terengganu. Yeah, give me a clap, Kuala Terengganu. I'm also a Sunway alumni, and I am also, like Jen, a TGR rookie.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause to our TGR rookies. So Ian, you've now told them who you are. Now explain to them how you became a TGR rookie, your journey, say from day one. Not from day one you were born, from day one, how did you become a TGR rookie?
Well, I started off playing a lot of sim racing on my PS4 back then. It was on GT Sport, on a controller, on a joystick. And ever since then, I just gotten more and more interested, in the idea of racing, the spirit of competition as well.
Yep.
And slowly, I joined other small tournaments, in Malaysia, especially run under my coach, Mr. Alex Yong. Big shout out to him. And yeah. And after that, again, more and more tournaments going in, did some endurance karting.
Yep.
And now I'm here.
And now you're here.
Now
Okay,
I'm here.
fantastic. What a journey.
What a journey.
All right, so Ian, I gotta ask you, who was your inspiration?
My inspiration, I would say myself.
You inspired yourself?
I inspire myself.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, okay, thank you so much, Ian. Appreciate it, buddy. All right, Genevieve, what about you? You came up from TGR's rookie program. Tell us, from day one, how was your journey?
So funny enough, how I started was with Campus Tour. I had never done much sim racing. I had never gone karting in my entire life. And I saw TGR had this Campus Tour event 2 years back here at Sunway. And I decided to join because I heard they were giving free merch away. And I'm a Malaysian.
Yes,
I
yes.
love free things.
Free stuff.
So I decided to sign up for it. I got a free shirt. But what I did not know came along with it was a spot in the Campus Tour.
Fantastic.
And that was my first ever competition, my first ever sim race. I had never sim raced before, so it was really interesting to discover that part. And from then on, I started taking part in a few sim races, and I was given the opportunity to actually race in real life last year. And then I applied for the rookie program, and here I am. So I must say, Toyota really started my entire racing career. So big thanks to Toyota.
All right, can we get a round sound of applause to Toyota? So now I can say that you love racing?
I do love it.
Oh, do you know, as a Malay, we actually have a word for that? Tak kenal maka tak cinta. Oh, alamak, bagus tak ya kan? Yes, I believe you kids call it a riz. Anyways, thank you so much, Genevieve. Thank you so much, Ian. Ladies and gentlemen, as Genevieve has mentioned, we actually have something called the Campus Tour, where we are actually, if I'm not mistaken, opening the application for our rookies very, very soon. So if you guys at home would like to join our rookie program, make sure you'll check out our Facebook page, TGR Malaysia, or Toyota Gazoo Racing Malaysia, to find out more information. All right, let's have a look at a video that we have about the Campus Tour compilation. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back for our final race of stream number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to introduce to you all 10 of our Campus Tour racers. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for our Campus Tour racers. Coming in first up, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Song Bao Sheng. From City University, Johor Bahru. Welcome, welcome. Come forward. Don't malu-malu. Okay, you will be going to sim number 10. All right, next up, we've got Randy Go from Inti International College, Subang. You'll be riding in sim 5. All right, next up, we've got Pei Jin Yao from Tunku Abdul Rahman University. Welcome. You will be in sim number 9. All right, next up, Seth Sanjay from Inti International College, Subang. Welcome, Seth. Sim number 6. I see a Marcus Rashford lover here. Okay. Next up, we've got Joshua Ui Jiajun from Polytechnic Ungku Omar. Joshua, sim number 8. Next up, we've got Jonathan Siu Young Hong from Asia Pacific University. Sim number 7. Next up, we've got Jordan J. What's up, Jordan, from Inti International Subang. Welcome, you're in sim number 4. Next up, we've got one of our female drivers, Noor Diana Zailani from IACT College. Welcome, Noor Diana. You'll be at sim number 1. Next up, we've got Zeth Yuen from Sunway University. All right, sim number 3. All right, home ground, yeah, Seth? Home ground. Okay, next up, finally, last but not least, Devesh Jiva from St. Michael's Institution. Welcome, brother. Love your shoes. You'll be at sim number 2. All right, ladies and gentlemen, these are your camper tour drivers. Without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to our commentators, Matthew and Victor. Take it away, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Faisal. I mean, what a race we have saw in those previous there, but on the previous races there, Victor, especially Group A and Group B. But right now we're into something special, and that is going to be, this is where we are going to be digging dive there, you know, to actually find those talents that might be representing TGR in the next 2 to 3 years, maybe. Or did I say it too early, man?
Well, I mean, again, we are digging for those diamonds in the rough, isn't it, here? So with all these young drivers being, talent scouted from all the 8 different institutions that we ran throughout the campus tour, it's going to be exciting to see how these drivers will actually stack up once we actually get them racing against each other. This is going to be a very interesting one because, again, I do recognize a few names in here. They are also drivers who have competed before in sim racing, but there's also a lot of new names in here that I'm going to be very excited to see how they will be able to handle actually racing, not just, in a competitive environment, but also in front of a live audience as well. I can just imagine the kind of pressure that puts you under, right? But it's great to see that all these young talents are coming in. This is really much like the essence of what TGR, their whole program, their whole objective has always been, to be able to help new talents rise up through the ranks, not only through, the TGR Rookies program, but even the campus tour as well helps a lot. Some drivers that we witnessed earlier on in Group B, like Rajamil Shaukat, for example, he was discovered through the campus tour.
Yeah.
Same as well with Genevieve Oy. The first time she ever drove a sim was during a campus tour event itself. So again, this is a really interesting race that we're going to be having here. And for me personally as well, we get to see a lot of the pro class action that we had early on. This is what I really love. It's like an amateur race where you have, drivers where you don't really know their background too much. You don't know what the skill level is. And it's always going to be lots of surprises around the corner for all of us.
Yeah, and this is where we discover some new talents that will be potentially might be crowned as champions one day. Because Victor, we have for the past 5 years we have always we kind of know who are the top racers, isn't it? But on the next 5 years we might not. We might be seeing much more different compared to what we saw in the previous 5 years. And it all starts today.
Exactly.
It all starts from now.
Exactly, and speaking of like the now, the registration for the next batch of TGR rookies is going to be open after this weekend here. So that's going to be something to watch out for in the coming days as well, because this is going to be selecting a new batch of rookies who will be joining us in 2026 season of the Vios Cup. So we're going to see like a lot more new talents rise up thanks to programs like this, thanks to the campus tour, the hard work that all the crew has been doing, going all these different places. And I hear as well from the rookies who joined them in those tours, they have a lot of fun, going around interacting with other drivers and really representing TGR as rookies, being front-facing towards the crowd.
Well, that's the culture, of course. Well, talking about culture, we're going to be having a look on the prize pool where all of these races that will be fighting for. Well, there you go, Victor. 123,000. They'll be up for the grab for Pro Championship, Esports GT Championship, and also Campus Tour Race. We're going to be breaking down on this total prize pool, and where you go, this is for the Campus Tour Race. Winner will be bringing home 1,005. First runner will be bringing home 1,002, and second runner-up will be bringing home 1,000 ringgit. And for the 4th until 10th, the Victor, we still got much more, a lot of money to grab over there.
Lots of money's up for grabs here, and especially imagine this is out just one single race here, so a very in terms of effort to value, a very valuable one here for Campus Tour racers. So yeah, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the money that they are all going to be fighting for, and they will be earning at the end of this race itself. And speaking of that race, this is going to be the format we're running for this one here, slightly different than what we had with the semi-finalists. This one is going to be a 20-minute sprint race with a 5-minute qualifying session to determine grid position. So 20 minutes is going to be slightly longer. Tire rating is completely open here. We still are turning off tuning as well as balance performance. There is still, I believe, a minimum 1 pit stop anytime during the race here. Yeah, that's for the Campus Tour. So yeah, that's pretty much what it's going to be run here for all these brand new drivers.
Yeah, so these races, they are all gearing up to actually, you know, show their absolute talent. But this is the race format that we are looking through, and once this is done, the Victor, I just can't wait to get to see their actual talent on the track, the Victor, because it's always a mystery, isn't it? Because we did not get to see how they drive, but this is the moment to actually witness, you know, maybe we might be seeing the next Taj Aimans, we might be seeing the next Nakib Aslans, you know? Yeah.
Or to be more direct, the next Genevieve Oy. How about that? Because we've got 2 young ladies who are also joining us in here. I just love to see more and more representation, you know, because again, when you talk about driving, you know, it's all about skill. It's not just a matter of who you are, where you come from. As long as you have the skills, you deserve to have a place up here on stage together with the rest.
Yep. So right now we're just getting everything tuned up. So once all these things are pretty much settled, especially for these races, we're going to be going into the qualifying. Remember, there's going to be 5 minutes of qualifying, and after that, that is where we'll be going into the actual 20 minutes race. Well, Victor, what are your expectations on this race?
I mean, honestly, I don't really know what to expect, except that I do know that some of the names that we have here in our Campus Tour list here, they do have some racing experience, so I'm going to be very curious to see how they actually race in a live situation here, especially up on stage with the pressure of a crowd, you know, spectating them the whole time. It's going to be a very interesting one as far as the car and track combination is concerned, so that's also something that I'm looking forward to, you know. I mean, in the past seasons, we've seen Tokyo Expressway, so this is a little bit of hint about what we're going to be seeing later on as we jump into our actual Campus Tour race. So speaking about that, let's have a look here at the actual list of drivers here, all the different institutions that they ran throughout this year's Campus Tour. So any particular university here that you'd love to shout out?
I mean, Inti.
That's where you're from.
Yeah, that's where I'm from. I actually studied in Inti Subang. So all the best, Jordan. You better win it, man, or else I'm finding you. And also Seth as well. Okay, we got 2 Inti representatives. Oh, we got 3 there, Victor. Randy as well. Yeah, so 3 of you racers. You all better watch out. You know, I'm just joking, anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, all of these institutes over there, Victor, they are actually representing here, and also, you know, this is where we are actually finding the next talent, the next big superstars. So it is all down to them. We wish them all the best, and may the best racer wins.
Yeah, I mean, this is all about that pathway, right? The pathway from virtual to reality. And sim racing has been a huge a factor in the last several years for us to discover new talent inside Malaysia. Because you have to imagine, motor racing normally, generally speaking, is a very expensive hobby to get into. And sim racing has been a very instrumental tool in bridging that gap, you know, giving those opportunities to people who otherwise may have never heard of racing or even considered, you know, taking up motor racing as a career. People like Genevieve Oy, for example, like never touched a sim until, you know, she dropped by a Campus Tour and then realized, oh, this is actually quite fun, and maybe I want to turn this into a career. And indeed, she has turned it into a career, having joined the TGR Rookies this year.
Yeah, I mean, just to recall the interview from Genevieve there, she literally said she have never touched cutting before. I mean, if you look back in in the previous 10 years, you know, you always have to come from a cutting background in order for you to race. But right now, technology has evolved, you know, and like what is it? It's about bridging the gap, and it has shown. And yeah, it is much more easier for us to actually get into an actual racing scene compared to 10 years before. But right now, it is all going to be on the campus tour. All eyes on the campus tour. We're going to be having a look on the track and also the race machine later on. But let's focus on the track. It's going to be the Grand Valley Highway. It's a fictional, no, it's a fictional track, isn't it?
It's a fictional track,
Yeah.
but it is inspired by a real life location, which is in California, the California Highway, in fact. So this is going to be a street circuit, but it's a very fast and very flowy street circuit because it's taking a place on the expressway. So you get plenty of those like roadside elements, you know, like the shops and stuff, but you also get views like the mountain and the seaside as well, because this is the highway that's along the beach as well in California. So very beautiful circuit, 5.099 kilometers long, 18 turns. There are some kinks and there's some very technical sections in this track, but also a very long straight or very, very long section leading up to the straight as well. So plenty of opportunities for overtaking, and given that this is a fictional track for Gran Turismo, it's also a very conducive place for racing, especially inside of this game.
Yes, beautiful track all the way from California, United States. And right now, this is the race machine that will be used in this race. It's going to be the GR Supra race car 2019 GR version 4. But man, it is clocking about 394 horsepower with a max torque of 587.1 Newton meter. But man, anything else you can add in this car there, Victor?
Yeah, I mean, it's got a suspension and a aerodynamics package, because it is very much based on what would be considered a GT4 car.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to have a lot of grip. It's got a very good amount of traction as well as downforce. Being front engine and rear wheel drive, it is going to be an absolute joy to drive here. And I think especially for the drivers, it's going to be a machine that responds very well to your inputs. You don't really have to worry so much about the balance, or rather like the amount of body roll these cars get, because this uses race suspension pretty much. So it's a very stable and a very easy to drive car, and certainly it's on a track like this California highway they're going to be using here. It's going to be a very fun 20 minutes, you know, for our campus tour drivers.
Absolutely. So we're all gearing up for this race, especially for this campus tour, and I'm really excited to see these talents there, Victor. You know, we might be finding some incredible talents through this qualifying and also the 20 minutes race. So we wish all these racers all the best, and may the best racer win.
So while we still continue to await the results here, I mean, I'd just like to remind you guys that, you know, we were talking so much about the rookies for 2026. Well, the registration is going to be opened here by UNWT on the 11th of October. So look out for the sign-up opportunity here on social media. And that way you yourself might just become a TGR rookie in the future. So this is going to be the first time we're going to be attempting to try to sign up with the Sim Racing Finals here in order to drum up that support. And again, you don't have to necessarily be a real-life racer just to apply. You can just go ahead and apply for yourself, register, and just try your luck. And who knows, maybe you might be seeing you in Sepang next year in 2026.
Yeah, we've already seen, you know, superstars. I mean, upcoming superstars like Genevieve Oy and also some other amazing drivers as well there, Victor.
Yeah, like Rajamil Shaukat, even Justin Raul Dev is also a rookie in this year, 2025. He also came up through the TGR Rookies program. And again, you know, it's a supreme opportunity for especially all the young drivers out there or young talents who are looking to make a name for themselves. This is a great program here that's been set up by Toyota Gazoo Racing to enable all these new talents, to discover new talents for racing within Malaysia.
Absolutely. So I'm all preparing for this race there, man. Just can't wait to get things started over here. I mean, we got interesting institutes coming through. It's more like an institute rivalry right now compared to individual rivalry. Because we got 3 INTI representatives. We got Asia Pacific University, we got Polytechnic Ungku Omar, we got Tarum, we also have City University Johor Bahru, Sunway University, of course, the home ground, and St. Michael's Institution. Man, that is all the way in Perak. I believe, right? It's Perak, right? Yeah.
I mean, Divesh Jiva, he's actually the younger brother of a TGR rookie you might know from this year, Hakish Jiva.
Hakish Jiva, yeah.
So I'm hoping that maybe he might have learned a thing or two from his brother coming to this race here, so that should be exciting to see. Randy as well as Zeb Yuan, I recognize as well from competing online. They do compete in some races, and they're also, from what I hear, also incredibly fast. So perhaps they may be some potential talents to watch out for next year or even beyond. And other than that, like I'm also super happy to see like the two ladies who have joined us inside this campus tour, Nordayana Zailani as well as Paige and Yao from IACT College and TAR UNT respectively. And it's great to see, like I said, racing is very much a skill-based event here. It's not so much about your background or who you are or what you are. It's more about what your ability is behind a wheel, and these drivers have certainly proved it during this camper tour itself, showing that they can set a very competitive time inside of the time attacks. And off of that, we've invited them to come over here to Sunway University to compete in this special campus tour race. And now we're going to have a chance for them to show us if they have the chops when it comes to actually racing other people on the same track.
Yeah, 10 incredible young talents that'll be going head-to-head right now. So let's see where they will be finishing in this race. This is a special race, the campus tour race. And I just can't wait to find out who will be winning this race there, Victor.
So speaking of that, for all of you fans out there who decides to join us over here in Sunway University, you can, by the way, literally come here and watch these races live. You don't have to just watch it online.
Make sure come tomorrow.
Yeah,
it's the grand final.
Tomorrow, especially for the grand final, you don't want to miss that out here. But we also have additional events going on. We also have a time attack booth being set up here. So if you're also wanting to have a feel of what it's like to actually drive on a sim racing rig, you can also do that right here at this very event itself. And we also have a lucky draw going on downstairs. We got our MC Kyle actually going around gathering a lot of the Sunway University students and actually giving them, offering them giveaways and things like that. So a lot of things for you guys to look forward to if you do decide to drop by to Sunway University here to join us at this very event.
Yeah, make sure to come drop down over here, especially for tomorrow, because that's going to be the grand finals. And the grand finals is where you need to be here, not in front of the team. Unless you're forced to, unless you're really far away or you could not make it over here, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. But if you had the opportunity to be here, please be here, because it's going to be epic.
So with that being said and done, let's just talk a little bit about like our Group A and Group B drivers. I think one of the surprising things for me was to see like Lau Wicked, the way he was able to burst his way through, especially in race 3 itself. Like that was an incredible performance there. And again, like when all these cars are so equal, when the skill level is so equal, to see a driver really completely push himself to that limit and is actually able to overtake so many, that's really, really hard to do. And for Lau Wicked, he's competed all the way back even in 2020 itself, and in that period of time up until now, he's been kind of like on and off. I've always asked him, behind the scenes, do you feel that this is your year? Sometimes he honestly tells me, no, not really.
No, really.
But this year, wow, it's an incredible comeback to see from him himself. I think he's going to be likely to join us in the top 10 finals. We still have yet to see the official results, so I don't want to jinx anyone quite yet here. Commentator's curse being very common.
Oh man, it's not only for today. Even the previous championship, we always had this commentator's curse, Yeah, if you recall some of the commentaries that we did earlier on just now when Chong Kai Chung went missing in the first race, right? I remember my lines. I say, he's the Terminator. He's known as the Terminator, and he's ready to terminate, and then he just went missing.
Yeah, his race literally got terminated. Right at that point in time.
Oh man, so I think we'll be going into the qualifying very, very shortly, and we will definitely talk more about our actual top 10 races that will be going into the grand finale for tomorrow. But Victor, this campus tour is really, spicing things up right now, because just can't wait to see this incredible talent that is being discovered by Toyota right now, and we might be seeing them in Sepang very soon.
Yeah, indeed we will. And make sure you guys try to go for that sign up here. Remember, it opens up tomorrow, October 11. Just keep an eye out on the social medias here for Toyota Gazoo Racing Malaysia, and just go ahead, give it a try. Try your luck and see whether or not you'll be the next TGR rookie in 2026. So here is the race results, the official results for our semi-finalists, starting with Group A itself. So Taj Israel Ayman takes the win here in race number 3. Danish Wiggins Warren just behind him, and Lau Wicked won an impressive podium he managed to pull off in his final race on Spa.
Yeah, perfectly done so far there. And on the other side, we see Wayne Go on P4, P5 for Nabil Azlan. 12 points for Wayne Go to 11 for Nabil Azlan. Akil Salfi on P6 with 8 points. Kamal Ali P7 for 6 points. Rio Pandukasuma on P8 with 4 points there, Victor. Jeremy Yao on P9 with 2 points. Chandramouli Anand on P10 with 1 point. This is the result for race 3 only, remember? It's not the overall. So for the overall, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Jang Jing Jing. Victor, break us through the overall results, man.
There we go. Tajuzin Ayman, 70 points to his name. 2 back-to-back wins in race 1 as well as race 2. It's very much a dominant performance that Tajuzin Ayman is able to do. Danish Vickers Warren, very consistently on the podium, but not enough to get wins, but enough to keep him in P2 in the overall for Group A itself. Lao Wei Kit as well, coming off the back of his amazing race 3 performance, has done enough here by 2 points to Wayne Goh is able to take the P3 position in the overall result. And Wayne Goh himself being in P4, he's 1 point only ahead of Nabil Aslan, and that's an incredibly tight championship situation here, you know, as far as Group A is concerned. But then again, as we go down for the list, Chandra Mauli Adnan misses out by 2 points in getting to the top 5 here in the overall result. Nabil Aslan having beaten him with 30 points of his name. So Chandra, even though he was able to take the win in race 2, race 1 and race 3 was just not performing well for him. And especially with the crash he got in race 3 that pretty much kept him out here, and it seems like may have kept him out here from being one of the top 10 finalists.
Oh, and also the rest of the other races there, Victor. I mean, Akil Saufi on P7, Rio Pandugasum on P8, Kamal Ali on P9, and Jeremy Yao on P10. Well, we wish them luck again. Maybe for the next season, you guys might be coming on the top, because remember, Toyota Gazoo Racing for the eRacing Championship is always changing. You know, the old generation is becoming old. Yeah, so right now we got to make room for the new generations, the new champions, the new superstars to walk through this incredible racing scene.
So yeah, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the overall result, confirmed result as it were, coming out of the semifinals for Group A. Now, let's go ahead and have a look at how it is for Group B, starting with the race 3 results. Chong Kai Chang took the win in race 3 in style here, doing it by beating Nakib Aslan as they attempted to push him throughout the race, but Nakib only makes it up into P2. Iqbal Suji makes it into P3, a very lonely spot there considering the race that he had, but certainly should be happy that this is going to be a good haul of points, and hopefully going to be enough to keep him in the grand finals.
Yeah, and also the rest of the other races there, Victor, we can still see Putra Zvira on P5, right, just now?
Yep.
Yeah, P6, we see yeah, it's going to be Yong Jen, yes.
Yes.
Over here it looks really blurry, I couldn't find it. Yes, Yong Jen. Alright, so he's on P6, P7, where we see Myo Mohammad Hafiz, P8 for Azib Shami Mokhtar, P9 for Raja Amirul Shaukat, P10 for Adam Harit. Well, these are the results for race 3 only. So, you guys ready for the overall results? And if you are guys ready, off we go. Victor, here we go, man.
Nakib Aslan makes it in the top of Group B here, 61 points to his name, even though race 1 he did sustain a penalty. He still got 25 points out of that, so it certainly allows him to have a dominant form even from the get-go. Chong Kai Chang had made a significant comeback starting from race 2 itself. It's enough to keep him in P2 in the overall result. Pujar Zwira Shahazam makes it up into P3 here with 38 points. That puts him 2 points ahead of Iqbal Suji, who does make it into the top 4 here. A very consistent result here that we've seen from him, getting onto the podium twice in a row from race 2 as well as race 3. And the youngster, 19-year-old Chong Jin Bin from Johor, makes it up into P5 with 34 points, 10 points clear of the 2019 ERGP champion Mior Hafiz, who only managed to eke out 24 points across all 3 races.
Yeah, and also we see Yong Chen on P7, a P8 for Azib Shami Mokhtar. I mean, Victor, things looking really different over here there, Victor, but one thing for sure is these top 5 will be going on to the grand finals tomorrow.
Yeah, a mix of old and also a mix of new here coming into this top 10. 2025 season has been absolutely delivering with the amount of surprises and also the expected that we have seen. The first time we're seeing Nakib Aslan going up head-to-head against Tajuzin Ayman inside of his home ground of Gran Turismo 7. That's going to be something exciting for all of us to see when it comes to tomorrow's main event. But that is going to be tomorrow's story. For today, though, still have one more bit of racing to go here. The campus tour that's going to be coming up, and still with that money up for grabs here, up to 1,500 ringgit for the winner here of this Camper Tour special race. Is going to come down to 20 minutes of racing with 5 minutes of qualifying. And with the track being this California highway, I think it's going to be a really beautiful sight for us all to see here.
Of course, one thing to look out for is the scenery. Second is the results in the race. But talking about results, well, we wish all the best to those who did not actually qualify for the grand finals. Maybe you can definitely try it again next year, because we got lots of inspiring stories when it comes to trying again. Example, Chong Kai Chang, who has been in this previous season, he's been trying really hard, but the past 2 years he's been really incredible, and maybe this year things could actually, be in his way. But on the other side, it's the effort that matters there, Victor. That hard work, you got to put in every season, because it's not easy to be a champion. But one thing for sure is that, if you really work hard, maybe the luck and favor will be falling on your side. So we wish you guys all the best. Until then, we'll see you guys on the next season. But for now, all focus is going to be on the campus tour right now, Victor. Oh, all right, Grand Valley Highway. I mean, I've never raced in this highway before. Okay, I don't really know about this track because it's a fictional track. But yeah, as what you said, that, we're going to be looking forward to some amazing sceneries along the highway. I kind of saw one arena at the side there, So kind of reminds me, oh, got arena all, huh? California got arena, no, not bad. Everywhere, yeah.
Stadiums everywhere. And I'm not sure exactly what kind of roadside stuff we will be able to spot when we get to this race here, but I can tell you, like, there are also like barriers, like Armco barriers, just like how you have in a real life highway. I mean, just like with Tokyo Expressway, if you remember that track from several seasons past, it's a representation of these real world locations that Gran Turismo loves to do. Even though the track is fictional, but then it really captures the essence, of the real life location that he has inspired. So in this case, the California highway, the California highway is like one place where, a lot of car enthusiasts love to use this road to drive. It's one of the few places, I think, in America where you not only get beautiful scenery, but you get a lot of roaming space, as it were, for you to really test out your engines. So this is going to be a nice little battleground, especially with the very powerful GR Supra race cars, the Group 4 race cars that are going to be running in here. I think it's going to be a very interesting race to watch out for, especially for our Camper Tour competitors.
Yeah, so all our races are getting all ready and stuff. The final preparation is being prepared, and once everything is good, we're going to be rolling into this race very, very shortly. We have already saw the track, we already saw the car that is going to be used in this race there, Victor. And one thing for sure is that, let's hope they, give the very best in this race.
Indeed. And I'm expecting anything, nothing less than the best from our Campus Tour drivers. Again, coming across from all 8 different institutions, from your favorite Inti all the way to
my favorite Inti, yeah. Oh, very nice.
Yeah, very, very nice indeed. And again, I'm always very excited to see new talent be able to join us in the fold, and this is going to be their starting point. This is their stepping stone in order to start off their journey, to become like a real life racer. And a victory here, may not, I mean, it does mean quite a bit, because you still are going to be winning 1,500 ringgit out of this. But I think more than that, is the first line on your CV, to show what your journey has been as a racing driver. So now that things are getting set up, we're going to be jumping now into qualifying here for our special Campus Tour race. So we already see some of these drivers already stretching out their legs and trying to put a little bit of moves right now, getting very close and testy even in this qualifying session alone. Although most drivers will usually try to back off a little bit, give a little bit more space so they can have more room really to try to push the limits of this track.
Oh, talking about the track, it looks really beautiful, especially from the side of the sea there. You can see those beautiful blue waters. As long as you just don't jump over there, Oh. Yeah, all right. That's why they have those stones on the left there, those barriers and blocks, so you don't actually jump on the other side. But it seems, all right. So someone it's going to be Zed that will be starting over again. So this is the official qualifying, and let's see who's able to put on some good timing over here. Well, Victor, some of the timing from our actual professional racers. Let's see who's this, which talent over here might be able to, defeat that time or something, or maybe be closer to that,
Well, honestly, like, I don't know what kind of times our pro drivers would do on this track. We didn't run this track actually during our semifinals or even the quarterfinals, so I think it's pretty much anyone's game here as far as our 10 campus tour drivers are concerned. So right now, I think leading the pack here is Bao Sheng. Bao Sheng is from City University Johor Bahru. Song Bao Sheng is his full name right now as he comes through on the line. Just following behind him is going to be Josh Hua Ui, who is from Polytechnic Unku Omar. And I think this is going to be a good opportunity for both these drivers to kind of size each other up. Like, when talking to Tengku Jan, our Malaysian motorsports legend, like he often likes to use qualifying sessions as a way to suss out the competition, trying to see, where these guys are going to be strong at, where they might be weaker at. And sometimes, these sessions like these are going to be crucial for that information gathering, as it were. You're going to be able to kind of like not only predict, but also get a sense for how some of these drivers drive on a track, and sometimes that information can come in very handy later on during the race itself. Now, Bao Sheng is, of course, riding along in the first-person perspective. I wonder, is that actually what he's using inside of his cockpit itself, or rather, there might be a choice from our camera team right now, as Bao Sheng unfortunately takes to the dirt a little bit too much and finds out the hard way that there is no grip outside of the tarmac here in California Highway.
Yeah, he needs to watch out for that, and quite an interesting camera view there, I would say. Yeah, unless it's coming from our actual team from the production, then it's a whole different story. But
yeah,
if that is what he's actually been using on the actual race right now, well, that's going to be incredible to watch.
I mean, I personally prefer to use that view actually when it comes to my sim racing games. Like this inside the cockpit kind of view gives you a lot more immersion. It's just that most like e-racers prefer like the either the bumper or the hood view because it gives you a much more wider field of view. Yeah, exactly. This kind of view here. Thank you, Mr. Cameraman, for being able to show us that. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it still comes down to personal choice. And some people, like me, I prefer like, the authentic experience of being inside of a race car. Some competitors, they prefer to have like as much competitive advantage as they can, and therefore they will make certain choices when it comes to not just like the view that they use, but also the level of force feedback that they're receiving from the wheels. Even if you want to get really nerdy about it, even the setup of your computer plays a big role in like the performance you can get. And sometimes you can get very much lost in like the weeds of trying to tune and optimize every single thing about your rig.
Yeah, I mean everyone has their own taste there, Victor. So that's what you say, most of these races, they prefer to have that view, and some like to be inside the cockpit like you,
Yeah.
It's as what you said, like it gives you much more different difficulties of view there. But looking at how things have been going, we're on board with Josh. And the fastest man on the track, it is going to be Randy there, Victor. Randy, go. Well done, you're doing integrate.
Yeah, faster than Joshua Oi by 1.4 seconds, almost 1.5 seconds. So a very handy time here from Randy Go. Let's see if that's going to hold here as the qualifying session still has another little bit to go. Some drivers will be coming through to finish up their laps. Some drivers are still in the middle of their second flying lap, as it were. But as it stands right now, Randy Go is holding that provisional pole. Look at the views coming out here into this hairpin, a slightly downhill little hairpin that I think will be a point of contention, especially since it comes at the end of a rather twisty section and a relatively fast one as well. So heavy braking is to be expected in that part if you're going to be battling side by side with someone. In fact, I'm seeing two people kind of battling out just in front of Randy Go right now. Song Bao Sheng is right now trying to put a bit of pushes there onto Diana. So let's see if our lady is going to be able to handle that pressure though. At the moment she is qualified in P8. Let's see if she's going to be able to improve his time as Randy Go comes in to break up this little battle between the two drivers.
Yeah, I think we're already seeing a glimpse of what we can expect in the actual race. This is the qualifying session only, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the moment for most of these racers to, clock their fastest timing and also get a taste of the track before we go into an actual action. So right now we still see a little bit of battle going on between Randy Go and also Diana. And yeah, maybe in the actual race later on, we can expect more of this.
It's such a rare sight to see, like all these full thoroughbred race cars actually flying absolutely at full speed over an overpass or a bridge like this. It's very rare. Like, I don't think any kind of like racetrack organizer would use this kind of elements, but because this is Gran Turismo 7, anything goes, you know. We're bringing all you this fictional tracks that are inspired by real life locations here, all for the comfort for you to drive in your own living room. As the drivers come across the line, Randy Go improves on his time. Maybe only, no, actually he doesn't quite improve on his time. Still remains in pole position though, but Devesh Jiva has actually improved on his own time, mixing it up to P2, whereas Jordan J. McNeil makes it up into P3, just for, getting a faster time compared to Zeph Yuan from Sunway University. So we'll see how that's going to shape up here later for the race, but front row, it seems to be pretty much solidly held here by Randy Go.
Well, Randy Go is doing a really wonderful job so far. I mean, he's from here, David, so I'm happy. Yeah, so he's making my college proud anyways. But ladies and gentlemen, it is not about that. It's all about the individual performance today and also the showcase of Campus Tour. Well, we can already see a glimpse of what we can expect in the race later on.
Yeah, a slight little glimpse, but a glimpse nevertheless. 20 minutes of racing here for our Campus Tour drivers. This is going to be the first time we're going to be seeing them in action on the track here. It's a very beautiful track, this California highway. I can see a lot of places where there could be potential for some overtakes and potential for slipstreaming as well with how flowy some of these sections are. But certainly these cars, they definitely look quite easy. As long as you stay on the tarmac, it seems like the cars can easily handle most of these corners here. So that's something that's going to help these Campus Tours drivers, especially given the type of car and type of series that we are running here. But now with Randy Go as well as Devesh Jiva being on that front row, as well as Zeph Yuan, as well as Jordan J. McNeil being on that second row. I think it's a really stacked front end of the grid here. I'm also going to be very curious to see what the other drivers will be able to do once we actually get to green flag racing.
Yeah, so make sure you're gearing yourself up because we're going to be going into this race very shortly. And this is a special race, the Campus Tour race. This is where we discover the next big talent of Toyota Gazoo Racing. And maybe from here we might be seeing them in the very top of the stage, or maybe in the top of the world, we never know.
Yeah. Well, and speak of the devil, and he shall come. Here we go. Campus Tour race, 20 minutes to win it here as the red lights go on. Watch out here. We've got Randy Go on one side, Martin on the other.
Oh, no.
And I think a slight little jump start there from Devesh. Ooh, a bit of a contact at the back as well as Devesh. Unfortunately, a little bit slow off the line there. A little, might have been a bit of a jump start there, maybe, but we'll have to see. In the meantime, looks like Martin is, Seth Sanjay Martin is going to be on that front row together with Randy Go. So he did actually overtake Devesh for that front row there, but now he's battling together with Randy Go, trying to go for that lead, but didn't quite get it on the inside. While Devesh has hanging on the background there. Randy Go now clears Martin and is able to get ahead here and stay in the lead of the race.
That's a fantastic start by Randy Go so far. What an intense speed that we had. And on the other side, there's going to be some battle coming on between Martin and also Devesh. Well, Devesh had some weird start earlier on there, Victor. Yeah, he was ahead of the rest, and then the actual race started, and then he started bumping around left and right. But then the race still goes on at this moment. He's keeping himself in P3. Martin needs to block his view over here and also defend his position not to let Devesh come through. But Devesh right now still running around at this P3 right now just to find a way to get into P2. Martin needs to shut down every space there is before we see Devesh finding an opportunity.
Yeah, Devesh is definitely trying to poke around for those opportunities. He's given another bump there to the back end of Martin to come through the slowest section of this track, indicating his intention as soon as they get into a clearer and straighter part. And there we are on it now. Devesh is going to try to use the slipstream here to try to make some gains on the Martin, but doesn't seem to have gotten the exit he needed in order to challenge him, so he still has to tuck in behind, going to his next turn inside the underpass. Randy Go still remains very much clear ahead here, not feeling that much pressure here. Instead, it's Martin who is in the hot seat at the moment, with Devesh constantly nipping at his heels.
Yeah, right now Devesh still putting the entire pressure on Martin. Martin is just doing his very best to block, but then Divesh has different plans. He might be making a move right now towards this tunnel, and maybe out of the tunnel we might be seeing Divesh in P2, and that might be a reality right now. And yes, it is there, Victor. He got into P2, and what a surprise, the magic of the tunnel.
Magic tunnel indeed here, and you gotta imagine how much your eyes have to adjust, especially in real life when you're going from inside to outside of tunnels here, and even the headlights had to turn on automatically. And then again, that is one of the features of the real life GR Supra, so I'm not too surprised in that regard. Divesh though, he's not quite out of the woods, as it looks like Martin is going to try to get a run up alongside him, coming out of that hairpin. Now it's going to be coming into another hairpin soon, so it's going to be a crucial moment here for Divesh. He needs to try to defend this against Martin in order to keep his second position, but right now coming into this very heavy braking zone, going downhill here, Divesh does keep it nice and tidy. Martin unfortunately goes a little bit wide on the entry and loses out a lot of time as a result.
Yeah, I mean, consistent performance is what we can expect from these races at the moment. Victor Divesh is doing a really wonderful job so far, but then he needs to push a little bit harder if he wants to get a little bit in front of Randy. But then, there you go, we're on board with Jonathan, who's all the way at the back right now, and he is definitely fighting against Jin Yao.
Yeah, Peijin Yao, one of the lady drivers here for TAR UMT, and Jonathan, who comes from Asia Pacific University. Now he's going to try to get into the inside of Peijin Yao. Is he going to be able to complete this move there? Very much closes the door on the exit here. Peijin Yao had to concede that as Jonathan moves up to P7.
Yeah, Jonathan doing a really wonderful job and keeping himself in P7. He's not struggling much there, Victor, but the only thing right now that's going to be matters is going to be Jin Yao, who's actually following him from the back. Well, let's see on what he could actually expect from these as we go into the Magic Tunnel again. I'm going to name it the Magic Tunnel of California. Yeah.
Magic Tunnel of California. I think that gives a lot of connotations given the state, but nevertheless, Jonathan is going to continue to stay ahead of Peijin Yao as we come out and into another one of these bridges. There are 2 bridges in total that this racetrack does offer, which gives us so much beautiful views here of the race cars as they zoom on past. Speaking of that, Zeph Guerin is trying to close the gap right now to Stong Bao Sheng. He's actually getting within 0.4 of a second now, especially at the end of this straight here. A braking zone is coming up into a heavy turn as well. Bao Sheng needs to be able to keep a nice, consistent racing line. There's not much sand on this part here, so you're free to try to use as much of the racetrack as possible. But Zephyrin is still trying to hang on to that slipstream that's coming out of Martin's car in order to help him keep up with the rest of the pack.
Yeah, he needs to actually work a little bit harder on his defending positions over here, Victor, because he's still being under pressure right behind. Talking about pressure, and here comes Zed. Zed, who's having a really incredible scene, and from the inside he overtook into P4, but then is that enough? Because on the next turn over here, it could be crucial, but then he closes the door, and Zed goes up in the front.
Yeah, you can watch out for Martin. He's trying his very best to try to keep up with Zephyrin's line, but to no avail as he has to concede the position. Now he's also got Jordan J just behind him to try to also seek an opportunity to snatch a possible position. Martin looking a little bit out of shape coming out of the corner, getting a little bit of wheel spin and a slip as well. That might have cost him a little bit in terms of speed coming out of that corner, and Jordan is all over it at the moment. We watch from Zed's perspective here, Martin doing everything he can to try to defend against Jordan J. McNeil, but still it's Martin who still remains in P5.
Yeah, Martin right now under pressure, but Zed from Sunway University is just trying to escape the battle that's happening right behind there. Because, you know, he needs to only focus up in the front. But talking about the front, we're on board with Martin right now. He's being tailgated right behind, and the slipstream is really intense right here, where Jordan is putting every pressure he could. Look at the cameras that we take here, constantly looking at the back, you know, so that shows the amount of pressure that is building up in this race. And maybe once we go into the Tunnel of Magic, and here we go, lights on, and let's see, maybe the results coming out is going to be different.
Yeah, it's very hard to see with the contrast, especially going from nighttime. It's almost like going from nighttime to daytime in a split second there. Jordan J, though, he does find a way alongside Martin coming into the end of the straight. The next turn, though, may favor Martin, but that's not if Jordan is able to pass him before they get to the braking zone. But Martin still hangs in for dear life, still stays on the inside, still keeping alongside Jordan as they come out of the corner. Both of them still banging wheel to wheel at the moment. The next turn, though, will favor Jordan, and Jordan is going to use this opportunity now to slip in ahead and keep his car just in front of Seth Martin.
Yeah, perfectly done there, Jordan, right now. Martin is dropping drastically there, Victor, compared to how he actually started this race, and right now dropping a few positions behind. He's right now in P6, Well, we still have another, more than 15 minutes left to actually, make it up to your losses and stuff. But at this moment, it is going to be the man that is in the front. It's going to be Randy Go that is being the race leader in my eye.
Yep, he's still very much comfortable in that leading position there, very much in command of the race as it were, although Devesh is certainly giving him a run for his money, still staying within half a second of his gap, so allowing Devesh to keep the pressure going onto our race leader at the moment. So for Randy, he cannot afford to make a mistake at this point, otherwise Randy will be able to capitalize on it for sure. Now I think as far as the rest of the grid goes, Zeph, I want to see what his gap will be later on, but Devesh in the meantime seems to be in the best position right now to try to challenge Randy Go for the lead of this race.
That's going to be St. Michael's Institution up against Inti there, Victor. Yeah, and this is going to be, another huge moment for Devesh. He's just waiting for the right opportunity for an overtake, because on the other front we see Randy is not making any mistakes. He's really calm, composed. He's also aware of what's coming behind, but it's all about, being composed in the front. And
into pits goes Devesh Jiva, so very early on, but then he did start on a soft tire. He does have to take either a medium or hard racing compound at any point in the race, so likely he may just jump onto the hard straight away and use that to the very end. I wonder if the fuel is going to be enough for him though, but that remains to be seen. In the meantime, Randy decides to stay out completely, so that's going to allow him a very comfortable 3-second lead to Song Bao Sheng. So that's going to allow him to command the race even further. But again, he is running on a hard tire, which is already a mandatory tire, but he still has to make that minimum 1 pit stop though, so I think that's likely going to be coming much later on in the race here, Matt.
Yeah, 12 minutes to go in this race. If you just tune in, welcome to Toyota Gazoo Racing Malaysia eRacing Esports GT Championship 2025. We're underway for the special race of Campus Tour right now, where we are on our way to discover the next top talent that will be emerging into our competition someday in the future. But right now, it is going to be some intense race coming through between these 10 races from different institutions and universities. Well, on the other side there, Victor, Jonathan right now from P6 chasing down Josh up in the front.
Yeah, Jonathan Siu from Asia Pacific University going up against Joshua Ooi from Polytechnic Unku Omar. So 2 different institutions, 2 different drivers, and both of them right now actually catching up to Pei Jin Yao from TAR UMT. So let's see how this will shape up. I mean, Josh at the moment is trying to find a way past Pei Jin Yao, may be able to get him. Oh, loses control though as he comes out of the corner, so Pei Jin Yao is able to retake the position. Jonathan uses the opportunity to pounce straight onto Joshua Ooi to try to take away his 5th position. 3 of these cars now battling as they go up onto the overpass. What a beautiful shot this is, as Jonathan is attempting to try to keep up not just with Pei Jin Yao, but also with Joshua Ooi. He elbows his way into the inside, tries to get into the P4. He does get ahead of Pei Jin Yao by the time they come out of the tunnel, and Jonathan is already trying and already succeeding here in getting himself up in the front.
But another moment of magic from the tunnel there, Victor. When you're coming out, it is Jonathan that is leading this race in P4. Well, that was some epic P4 battle there. And Pei Jin Yang right now has already put it into P5. Oh, wait a second. Look at that. Jonathan is in P5 right now, Victor.
Jonathan's P5, yeah, he's actually trying to fight alongside Pei Jin Yao in that regard. But yeah, I think he actually fell back a little bit here, and now that's allowed Joshua Ooi to be able to get alongside and continue to race these guys into the hairpin, the hairpin at the southern tip of this racetrack. Jonathan, though, still have to bide his time a little bit. Pei Jin Yao will be inheriting P2 now, as 2 of the drivers from the lead just now. Randy Go has already gone into the pits, as has Song Bao Sheng. So Randy Go does come out just ahead of Jiva. Song Bao Sheng still comes up behind Devesh Jiva, so it's very much status quo for them in terms of the race phase. But oh boy, half-second penalty here with Jonathan, and that's very unfortunate for him. That might put put his race on a cooler here.
Yeah, and that's going to be another big thing for here. But over here, we are still having a look on Devesh that is now chasing down Randy Go. Some intense rivalry going on from the start of the race. We are not only talking about positions right now, we're talking about getting things personal over here. It seems like Devesh right now still chasing the man up in the front, and Randy, not even one time there, Victor, has given the gap for Devesh to overtake him.
Yeah, still trying to do his very best right now, and Song Bao Sheng also having a half-second penalty that's going to make make it very difficult for him. Oh my goodness, they just bumped one of the hay bales out of the way there as he bounces around in the background. Devesh is still trying to give chase here to Randy Go. Baosheng is going to be coming around towards the penalty line there. That's going to slow him down and put him out of this little three-way battle that was forming up just now, allowing Devesh a little bit more breathing room here to continue his chase against Randy Go, who is currently in P5.
Yeah, Randy Go right now in P5. I mean, he's fully locked and loaded, but right now, talking about lock and loaded, this is the man that has been chasing him from the start of this race. Will he succeed in the next couple of laps to come? That is going to be the biggest question that needs to be answered right now. And it seems like Devesh is still having that gap there, because the 0.8, 0.9 gap that is actually giving him a little bit of a problem. But maybe the magic of the tunnel, you know, could change things around, but not for Devesh at this moment.
Yeah, so 3 more drivers are going to pits there. There's going to be Jonathan, Peijin Yao, as well as Seth Martin. All of them going to be coming in. I think Seth is going for a bit of a splash and go there in order to be able to come out of the pits earlier. So Randy Go will be able to come out, come out into P2. I think Joshua Oi may not have taken his pit stop yet. We'll have to confirm on that later on. But as it stands right now, Randy and Devesh seem to be back into the correct phase of the race right now. And likely they will have enough in the fuel and tire in order to continue on to the end of this race.
7 minutes left in this campus tour race, and so far things have been going really well for some of these races. But then we're on board with Devesh, who has been the highlight from the start of this race, especially chasing Randy. That intense rivalry brewing through right now, that Victor. And Devesh has clocked the fastest man on the lap, and that is another sign that Randy needs to actually take note over here, because he's coming very closer and closer towards an overtake, if you ask me.
Yeah, wow, I mean, he's really pushing in hard here.
Yeah.
I mean, again, leveraging a lot of this onto Randy Go. I guess another hay bale, unfortunately, has become an unfortunate victim here, being blasted all the way off the track right now as Devesh continues to give chase here to Randy Go, trying to close up that gap that is still sitting at or around 1 whole second. Baosheng is now going to have to serve another half-second penalty that's going to put him further away from these 2 battlers right now on the podium here. While in the meantime, though, still wondering what Randy has up his sleeve here.
Yeah, Randy got a lot of things in his sleeve there, Victor. You know, he has been really incredible from the start of this race. And let's see if he's still able to hold on to this position until the end of this race, because we're coming closer and closer towards the end. We have another 6 more minutes to go, and nothing much has actually changed between Randy and also Devesh. But if you are talking about, you know, consistency, Randy's the man to look for.
Yeah. I'm also slightly worried that some of these drivers may have overfueled a little bit coming into this final phase here, which may leave them a little bit at a disadvantage if another driver is a bit underfueled comparatively just behind. I mean, Randy Go has just set the fastest lap here, so wow, the 2 of them are really just trading blows in that regard. Joshua Oi finally goes into the pits here, allowing Randy Go to be back up in the lead of the race. Devesh Jiva still falling behind Song Baosheng very comfortably in that P3 position, and Josh, well, he's just finished fueling up, should be able to come out just, or maybe just around where Jonathan is at the moment. We'll have to see what the gap will look like, but that's looks like P7 right now for Joshua Oi.
Yeah, that is the battle on what's happening in the midst, but then in the front it's going to be Randy Go right now from all the way from Inti International College Subang, and he's been driving a really wonderful way, I would say, that Victor. You know, from the start of this race he has been consistently in P1, and right now he's back in P1 again after the pit stops from the rest of the other races.
Okay, so Joshua actually didn't quite get up in front of Jonathan.
Yeah.
Jonathan is in front, but Jonathan has a half-second penalty though, so the penalty line, as soon as that comes up, Josh will be able to challenge him for that P7 position. So Joshua, who decided to stay out a lot longer, has now gone onto the soft tires. That might give him a bit of advantage in the final phase here, especially against runners who are on the hard tire. But Jonathan right now has this half-second penalty to worry about. Needs to try to maintain some good gap here to Joshua Oi to enable him to continue to fight for his position. Now they're coming up to the penalty line. You can see the slowing down bar slowly filling up as Jonathan gets closer and closer. Joshua knows this as well. He can see it from his own perspective, so he knows that this will be the right moment to pounce.
Oh man,
should be a pretty easy one though. Though Joshua's looking a little bit shaky on the exit, he still is able to take it. He moves up to P7.
Yeah, well done to Joshua right now, despite the penalty that actually brought the advantage for Jonathan, but then He has been doing a really well job to actually to fly all the way to the top there, Victor. But then time might be his enemy right now. We only have 4 more minutes left in this race until we conclude who's going to be winning it.
Yeah, right now the grid is more or less very spread out across like the midfield, and even the front runners are quite clear ahead of the rest of the field here, especially Randy and Devesh. They're both very much clear of Song Bao Sheng, who struggles a little bit with the penalties, although a penalty has just come here for Randy Go. He's still 1.7 seconds in the lead here, but then knowing where that penalty line is, he could potentially lose a lot more than just that in terms of time. So this might open up the door here for Devesh to try to put in a final charge. Both of these guys did pit at the same phase though, so there's not really going to be that much of an advantage in terms of tires between the two of them. Not too sure how the advantage is in terms of fuel weight though. That might work against Devesh Jiva in this final phase here, but there's certainly a lot more fuel inside of Randy Go's tank than he needs actually to make it to the end of this race. Now it's coming up to the penalty line soon here, so that's going to allow Devesh to close up that gap a little bit. Let's see if that's going to be enough here for Devesh to put in another challenge onto Randy Go's lead.
Yeah, this penalty has been the only problem for Randy Go right now. He's slowing down there, Victor, but then is that enough for Devesh to actually, you know, pounce on him right now?
So yeah, it comes across that penalty line here. I think Devesh got a really bad exit just now. He is going to be able to get within 1 second, but may not be enough to make that overtake quite yet. But Randy can certainly be a bit relieved that it didn't cost him too much, but definitely that gap is starting to whittle down between himself and Devesh. That is for sure.
Yeah, we're almost at the end of this race. Only 2 minutes left in this special race for the Campus Tour. And we are coming closer and closer to find out who will be winning this race. But at this moment, you're watching on your screen, it is going to be Randy Go that is on an insane speed, that is actually putting himself up in the front. And right behind there is going to be Devesh and Bao Sheng in P3 there, Victor.
Coming onto the main straight once more, coming across the line, not quite the final lap. Oh wait, this is going to be the final lap here, as confirmed by the system, as Randy Go comes across now. So it looks like this is going to be the final opportunity here for Devesh. He's still 0.8 of a second away here from challenging him for that lead, and this seems to be the closest battle that we have, so we're going to keep a close and keen eye on this little battle here. Devesh leveraging a lot of the experience that he has, no doubt also the knowledge, I should say, that he also can accrue from his own brother, Hakesh Jiva, who is also a rookie here in TGR for 2025. Certainly has used that foundation, that foundational knowledge in order to be able to get to this stage. But right now, he's going to use every last bit of his own personal skill here in order to battle up against Randy Go.
Yeah, we are watching some intense speed over here by both of these racers, who is actually switching in terms of fastest lap just now. But then Devesh right now trying his very best to close the gap between Randy Go. But then it seems like a little bit unlikely at this moment, as we're going to go into the Tunnel of Magic coming out again. Well, Victor, it is Inti versus St. Michael's Institution, you know, in the end of the day.
Indeed it is, and you know, your favorite university is leading at the moment, just barely, but still a lead nevertheless, 0.6 of a second, and Randy thankfully had not made a single mistake in that last sector here, so he's still is going to be able to maintain himself in front of Devesh, but Devesh is getting tantalizingly close, especially in the slower sections of this track. Now coming out of another magic tunnel here, looks like Randy is still able to gain a little bit more of a gap, 1/10 of a second, a bit of a slide, and a big slide there for Devesh Jiva! Oh my goodness! At the last moment here, Devesh needs to recover very quickly here before he gets past, and it looks like he does get ahead quickly enough. Thankfully, he's still 9 seconds ahead of Jordan, who is in P3 at the moment, so Devesh still is going to be able to maintain P2, but the battle is won here by Randy Go as he celebrates across the line to take the win in our special Campus Tour race.
What a race it has been for Randy Go, but despite the turnover there, Victor, what a recovery from Devesh, who started this race consistently, and he got into P2 and P3 right now for Jordan. What a race it has been. I mean, Campus Tour, it doesn't look like a tour, man. It looks exactly like a competitive racing so far. But what a race it has been for our Campus Tour, man. Oh, Devesh Jiva, what happened over there, Victor? That final moment he spun out over there, but that 9 seconds actually saved him, if you ask me. The
yeah,
gap.
I mean, he was thankfully he had quite a bit of a gap, and Song Bao Sheng in the meantime, actually got passed by Jordan J. McNeil towards the end there. We didn't quite see that on the screen, unfortunately, but that allowed Jordan now to actually take P3 in this race. So an incredibly late move there, and that actually worked out well in Jordan's favor. So very lucky there for Devesh Jiva.
Very, very lucky.
Very lucky indeed. You can see literally the audience just jump out of his seat when they saw Devesh just suddenly lose control there. But thankfully his race was not completely ruined. But unfortunately couldn't quite challenge Randy for the lead. Randy Go still remains the winner here of this Campus Tour special race.
Really felt it. You know, he had one more in him there, but then he just had to, you know, horribly turn over there. But then in the end of the day, he still got P2 there, Victor. You know, that would actually be the best way to end it, if you ask me.
Yeah, so, wow, that was our Campus Tour race. It still gave us quite plenty of a thrill and spill. Maybe not so much in terms of incidents, but certainly allowed us to get a little bit of a look right now at what could be some potential talents coming in the future here for TGR. Congratulations yet again to Randy Go taking the win here for Inti International College Subang. And certainly he'll be definitely having a lot of bragging rights once he gets back to his class, isn't it?
Definitely, man. I mean, Toyota has been doing a wonderful job, especially, you know, scouting talents from different institutions, different universities. So you're actually seeing a huge talent pool right now, and that is going to be wonderful to see in the future, because these are the names that might be shining in the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, so with that already done and dusted, let's go ahead and hear from the Campus Tour drivers themselves. We're going to be going off to our host, Faisal, on the stage. Over to you, my man.
All right, thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Victor. With me, we've got the Mr. Pole Position, Randy Go. Can we get a round of applause for Mr. Randy Go over here? Fantastic, fantastic. All right, so Randy, let us know, first of all, introduce yourself. Let us know how you got into racing and which college you're from.
I'm from Selangor. And how I got into this, right? I originally started on a G29. It's a very cheap wheel, very budget wheel. I just wanted to race on the Japanese highway, right? Just go fast and stuff. Then I saw there's this competition, so I just joined. I didn't get much, but I remember Alex Young told me that racecraft is very important. So I started racing a lot, raced in his league, eRacing GP, and yeah, I spent 3 seasons in Copper. That's the lowest class. But even though I spent a lot of time there, it taught me a lot as well about racecraft, about pace, and most importantly, consistency.
All right, Randy already, although he's at Campus Tour, he is already speaking and talking like a well-trained racer. I have to ask Randy, now that you've got pole position, how was your experience actually racing in front of live audience? You know, the live audience here at Sunway University, and also, let's not forget, our live audience on Facebook Live and also YouTube. How does it feel? I gotta say, you know how many people on Facebook? Around 1,000 people watching you race. Yes, okay, so how does it feel? How does it feel?
I mean, it feels very, you know, my heart is going crazy, you know. I had to focus on the race. I'm dividing my mind into 2 pieces, you know, like not to think about the audience and all, and just focus on racing, right? And after I pit, right, I saw number 1 pitted as well, so I was P1, but Devesh also was behind me. And, well, I mean, props to him, strong pace from him, and we had a little battle, but I think, I don't know. We both were good, but I think, I'm not saying I'm better, but I feel like, yeah, I had a better result. The rig felt solid, everything felt solid. It's just, I just felt one with the car.
Okay, all right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Randy Go, he felt one with the car. It feels like you're already in love with racing. Do you think you're gonna push your career further in racing?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely want to go further, you know. If I can make it to rookies next year, that'd be great. Yeah, that's it.
All right, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mr. Randy Go. All right, next up, we're going to be talking to Devesh, someone that Randy even mentioned himself. Devesh was right behind him. He's at sim number 2. All right, let's head on over to Devesh. What's up, brother? How you doing? How you doing? All right, Devesh, how old are you? How old are you, man? You look so young.
17.
17 years old. Okay, before we talk about your racing experience here, I just found out you actually have an older brother who's already in the TGR Rookie program, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so does he inspire you, or do you have other people as your inspiration?
There's many other people, but one of the main one is come from my brother, because I also want to get into the TGR Rookies, because I look at TGR Rookies, it can further your racing like way better.
I see. All right. Can we get a round of applause for Toyota for handling this for us? Thank you so much for giving the opportunity to our young drivers. All right. So Davesh, let's talk about the race. Okay, as Randy was talking, you were right behind him. You were pitting together. So what happened? You couldn't overtake him, or did you feel the pressure? Did you feel that you lacked the experience? Tell us a little bit about the journey.
So clearly, as the start, I had a false start. It was my first time like having a false start, because I never know how to race in this GT7. But as the race goes on, I overtake second, I'm not sure who. And then I was keeping up the pace with Randy with the soft tires. But the soft ran out so fast because the tire wear was 8. So I had to pit early and fuel. Then with the mediums, I could keep up the pace with Randy for like the 3 laps. Then after I started falling behind because of my tire wear also with the mediums. Then the last corner, I just spun out.
It's okay, Davesh. Okay, so Davesh, when we talk about racing, is this how you imagine racing in the pros? Because imagine, like from my point of view, right? Just your casual racer. In my mind, is the car, the track, that's it. But now we talk about weather, we talk about the tires, we talk about fuel, pitting, technique, strategy. What was your plan coming into Campus Tour?
So my plan, I literally just played PS4 in GT Sport at my home. I literally play that like almost every day last time. And this year I have to study. Yeah. And I slowly started participating in races and all the local races at Ipoh. Then I saw this tour campus thing in the Instagram page, and it sounded interesting. And my brother was part of TGR Rookies as well at that time. So I just give it a try, and now I'm here.
All right, I also have to ask, you have an elder brother already in TGR Rookie. Has he given you any advice or like any tips and tricks to get better?
Yeah, he gives a lot of tips and tips that people teach him. He'll definitely teach me also,
which helps you a lot, like I can imagine, right? Okay, so last question, final question before we release you. When you race in front of, I ask Randy the same question. Okay, so like the pressure of having playing or having to compete in front of a live audience, you know, we are at Sunway University. We've got people in the crowd. We've also got on Facebook Live. We've got YouTube Live. 1,000 people watching you. Thousands upon thousands of people watching you. Do you think that mattered, or did you think that without them your performance would be better?
My performance would be better if there's no much crowd. But I really do support the people watching this, and I don't think there's much change of pace of me, because my thing was just to drive fast. Nothing else in my mind.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Davesh. That was amazing. So mature and so humble for a 17-year-old. I wish you luck in your career, Davesh. You and your brother in TGR Rookie. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to throw it over to our commentators as we check out the highlight for the campus tour.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Faisal. I mean, interesting takes from our campus tour drivers over there. But ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look on these highlights of what actually happened earlier on in this amazing California highway, man.
Yeah, I have no idea what the heck happened with the start there, especially with Devesh Jiva, who looked like he may have jumped at the start.
Yeah.
Though the system shouldn't have applied a penalty for that, so maybe it's just something, maybe some netcode issue going on there. But certainly Randy was very much on it from the start, from the get-go here, dispatching Seth Martin very quickly on, and Devesh had to have his own battle here into the magic tunnel, as you like to call it. Goes the two drivers, but by the time they come out of it, Devesh is the one in the lead here. Fantastic move there by Devesh. Devesh, you know, to secure that second spot. Then Jonathan also getting in a little bit of a tussle himself. This was the almost a final lap there where Devesh actually spun out towards the end, and that unfortunately ended his battle with Randy Go, allowing Randy to see that checkered flag first and to take the win here in this Camper Tour race.
Yeah, so there you go. A look on the race results for the Campus Tour, ladies and gentlemen. This is the official result, I would say there, Victor. And over there, we can still see P1. It is going to be Randy Go Jinwei from Inti International College Subang Jaya. P2 for Divesh Jiwa, who fought really hard despite the spun at the very end there, but still made it into P2 from St. Michael's Institution, all the way hailing from Ipoh Perak there, Victor. He came all the way here and got into P2 and says his brother is an inspiration and he wants to be in the scene. Well, you are in the scene, my man.
Yeah. And also for Inti International College Subang, Jordan J. McNeil makes it up into P3, although I think Song Bao Sheng had certainly struggled quite a bit during this race here, hailing from City University Johor Bahru, but still a very respectable performance from him. Nevertheless, you know, being starting somewhere on the podium position and finally making up the P4. Sef Sanjay Tin Martin makes it P5. Zef Yuan, our local boy here from Sunway University, makes it P6. Then Joshua Oi takes P7 here for Polytechnic Unku Omar. Jonathan Siu Yong Hong makes it P8 here for Asia Pacific University. Peijin Yao makes it P9 here for Tar UMT, and Nor Diana Zailani makes it rounds up the 10 positions here for IACT College.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the race results for our campus tour. It's pretty much all done and dusted, and it seems like, you know, we are getting closer and closer towards finding out our next top talent there, Victor. Today is the moment where we see a glimpse of what these guys can do, and maybe in the next 2 to 3 years, they might be fighting against Tajiz Renaiman or the rest of the other packs, you know?
Yeah, so on that note, let's go ahead and have a look right now on what the final grand finalists will be here.
Wow.
The top 10 finalists has been confirmed, ladies and gentlemen. And there you have it. They have fought so hard throughout this entire day. 3 races, 6 races altogether, 3 races for each of these groups. But finally, at the end here, we now have our grand finalists here, Matthews.
Oh man, I would really tell you, this is going to be absolutely huge of a grand finals there, Victor. Big talents, legends in this line as well. And I can tell you, this is one of the most exciting grand finals that I can't wait to get started for tomorrow.
Yeah, well, with lots of new faces here, but also lots of very familiar ones. We're going to be shaping up for a grand finale here that's going to be coming up on the 11th October. Thank you all so much for joining us here. It's been quite the experience for the two of us, you know.
Definitely.
Several years of covering this event for all you guys' entertainment back at home. But we thank you all for that. And yeah, it's going to be an incredible grand finals tomorrow, isn't it?
Absolutely. The grand finals are going to be really huge. So if you have the opportunity to come down here in Sunway University, make sure to grab that chance, okay? We still got a lot of things happening here, so make sure to be over here as well. And if you can't, it's okay. You can watch it from the live stream and support your favorite driver. So I think that's all from us there, Victor. We're going to be throwing on to our main man up in the stage. Mr. Faisal, take it away.
Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Victor. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are nearing the end of our stream here today. But before we go, can we all here today at Sunway University give a round sound of applause to our top 10 finalists? Fantastic. Now, for those of you at home who are wondering, don't worry, our finalists won't be racing today. They'll be racing tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. on our Facebook and YouTube show. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. So, we are going to continue on with our prize-giving ceremony for our racers that did not make it to the finals. With that said, let's all welcome up on stage, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kelvin Tan, brand manager for UMW Toyota Motors. Welcome, Kelvin. How are you doing today? Right here, Mr. Kelvin. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Kelvin, for being here with us. I would also like to give you a personal thank you for helping our racers at such a young age. Fantastic. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to call upon all our P20 to P11 drivers. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for coming in at P10, Adam Harris. Welcome, Adam. That's right, P20. Sorry. All right, receive your medal. Thank you so much, Adam. Amazing racing today. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Adam. Next up, we've got P19, Jeremy Yao. Yao! Thank you so much, Jeremy. Gambate, gambate. All of you did really, really well today. Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you so much, Jeremy. Next up at P18, Raja Amirul. Welcome, Raja, welcome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, these are our P20s to P11. They did an amazing job. They went through qualifiers all the way to reach here today. Thank you so much, Raja. Next up, P17, Kamal Ali. Thank you, Kamal. I love that positive attitude. I hope you'll join us next year and come and fight for your position again. Thank you so much, Kamal. Next up, number 16, P16, Rio Pandukusuma. What's up, Rio? Welcome, welcome. Such a lovely smile he has. What a positive mindset. Fantastic. I love that. Thank you so much, Rio. That was amazing racing all of you have done here today. Next up for P15, Azib Shahmi Mokhtar. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you watching at home from Facebook and YouTube, don't forget to comment for all your favorite drivers. All right, next up, P14, Ngo Yong Jian. Welcome, welcome, brother. Once again, don't forget to scream and comment who your favorite driver is today and what your favorite car is that we've used today at Toyota Gazoo Racing. All right, next up, P13, Akil Saufi. What's up, Akil? So close, ya? Tak apa, tak apa. Kita masih ada lagi, banyak lagi tournament selepas ini, banyak lagi championship. Okay, next up, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for P12, Mior Hafiz. What's up, Mior? Victor Gyokures. All right, looks like we've got an Arsenal supporter here. Fantastic. You and me both. Kita gang, Mior. Kita kawan baik forever and ever. All right, the closest one for P11, Chandra Mauli Anandan. Welcome, welcome, Chandra. So close, Chandra, so close. Okay. Now, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, these are our P20 to P11. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a group photo for everyone here today. Chandra, it's okay, you can stay there. We're going to take a nice, wonderful group photo. All right, 5 on Kelvin's left and 5 on Kelvin's right. 5, korang pandai kira tak ni? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. Boleh ada, boleh. Okay, mantap kau malah jalan kan? Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, on the count of 3, I want everybody to say TGR. Is that okay? Boleh tak? TG? Okay, focus on the camera, ladies and gentlemen. In 1, 2, 3, TG! TG! Aku yang semangat lebih. Alright, thank you so much, guys. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, once again, can we get a round sound of applause to Mr. Kelvin Tan from Toyota? Without them... Oi, laju kau Adam nak lari kau. Laju kau sangat. Okay, we also like to thank all our partners and our sponsors, Toyo Tires, Modelista, Denso, Pentas Flora, Tech Lab, Motis, NK, Kinto, TCAP, and let's not forget Sunway University. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Without them, this would not be possible. A round of applause to all our finalists. My name is Faisal. I'll see all of you tomorrow at 12:30 right here. Have a great night.
Bang.